We're working on it. It's a long. It's a short road, right? Oh man, my volume just like went crazy. Let me see if I need to adjust it.
What is your rating now, actually?
The rating you're looking at is false, unfortunately. My rating is 12 profile.
Okay, forget about that.
1293. Oh wow.
But okay, it's improving.
Higher than I thought. I haven't played a ton. I was doing some tactics and stuff. But those last few games that I sent you were
Yeah,
like,
I saw one of them briefly. Anyway, I will just quickly explain to chat what is the stream about. You played Ace 3. The stream is about coaching one of the. Are you the strongest Diablo player?
just say one of the. Just we'll put myself in the top 5 and call it good.
Okay, one of the top Diablo players,
There you go. We'll
and
call that.
the goal is to get him into 2000 with some coaching. And for today, we will play some games, and I will comment on them. And my question already is Ace 3.
Yeah, because I don't like.
What is,
I hate playing against the Sicilian, so this is my solution. A3, because
and
then the person playing it is like thrown out of their. They don't know what to do either. They're all confused.
yes, but I mean, like, if you want to confuse your opponent, why don't you develop some pieces instead?
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
developing my pawns.
well, it's not like that Ace 3 is so useful in a way. If you
That's
want to
what
play
you
some
think.
extraordinary, yes, you're playing gambits. I got it. If you want
Yeah.
to play some extraordinary moves, you can play Knight E2, for example. It's still better than Ace 3, in my opinion. But
I,
okay,
I take from Anna and her gambit love.
you take from Anna and her gambit love. This
Yeah.
already sounds itself as a kind of.
Anna told me to play all of the gambits because it would be really good for me or something like that.
Depends from what point of view Anna is looking at it. Okay.
Who knows?
You want to aim the center?
Ah, see, now I have full control of the center.
Oh, well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, now look at the position, just like, okay, without Knight A3 or with Knight A3. Look at the position, just from the logical point
Diablo
of view.
lesson for chat.
Right.
I got
The
the queen
warrior
out,
from
I got the
Diablo
knight
1
out,
becomes the
I have a
dark
pawn
blunderer
up.
who morphs
Yeah.
into
You
Diablo.
got the knight out,
The rogue
okay, you get
becomes
some
Blood
central
Raven.
pawns.
The sorcerer
Good.
becomes the
But
summoner.
apart from that, by
Hashtag
development
Diablo
already,
facts.
I'm ahead of you. By
Yeah.
material, I'm ahead of you. So from the logical point of view, I'm not sure what you did is so great.
I've opened up the the king side.
Yes, you got some openings on the diagonal. Okay, now you are straddling something. This, of course, I have seen, but I will just give the pawn back. I don't care. And aim for development,
That's
which
fair.
I'm still ahead.
That's what you think.
Well, it's not like what I think. It's a fact. I have bishop, knight, rook out.
Yeah.
You got a soul fighter with a knight.
Yep.
You can take on A7 if you want, but it's not like helping you on the development. But I think I got some guys from your original chat or from your comment chats in my chat, and they tell me you get cookie, whatever that means. They cocky, not cookie.
I get cookie.
I don't know. I mean, cocky. I mean, I'm not sure what cocky means. I have an idea.
Cocky means arrogant.
Ah, okay, because I only know the word without the Y at the end, and that's why I'm confused.
I mean, that's probably where it derives, its meaning.
Okay, let's play a little bit more careful.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny bit. Okay, until now you didn't blunder. Hello, everybody. The left side of the board is a bit cut, that's true. Sometimes changes. Here we go. Bishop f4. You take it quite serious today. Okay, now I will just force you. What I mean, it's not like I force you, but I will open up the position a bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Not to get into unnecessary trouble. Because you had some sneaky plan with knight c7.
Yeah, I did. Which
I
way?
saw
Let's
that.
see. We go here, they go there.
I should look at your kind of screen because I'm sure you make like hundreds of errors on colors and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I make errors all the time. It's just classic. I feel like taking here is fine, actually. Obviously not knight. I mean, we drop their bishop because you take, and I just take there. I mean, do I want to drop that piece and you lose your knight, and then I've gained, but then I'm a little pinned. This is also a huge threat. That gets me more development.
Okay.
And that is a trapped queen, right? No.
Nope.
Not quite.
I mean, come on.
Not quite.
You think like I'm plundering queens?
Maybe. I don't know. You could be. It's possible.
Okay.
Actually, I think it is.
Look. Okay, 1 second.
I think that is a trapped queen.
Alex.
No, it's not. Oh, no, you're right. You don't blunder queens. Darn it.
No, it's not about that. I mean, it's actually, like, to be honest, bishop c4 is a blunder.
Yeah, because you can check and then I can't.
No, it's not like, I mean, the check is not the point, because after checking on e4, you go bishop e3.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like, if I check here, you go bishop e3.
Right.
But why bishop c4 is a blunder? What do you think? What is the problem? You're losing actually a rook after bishop c4.
I'm losing my rook?
Yep.
Wait. Oh, because you can take the... Oh, yeah, that's fine, though.
I mean, the bishop c4, I mean, the thing is, like, Alex, you are overexcited when it comes to attacking.
Oh, for sure. That is 100% guarantee.
All your emotions coming, and, you know, like, and you
Yes.
see, like, oh, I can attack this, and I can attack this.
That is correct.
And I don't pay attention to my own camp because it's not important as I'm attacking you.
Right.
But with bishop, there's a problem with sometimes, like, you see a move and you see it causes a threat, but you forget the function of that particular piece.
Yeah.
And with bishop c4, you have the problem on g2. Besides, I mean, like, the thing is, like, already, like, f4 is hanging. You answer this attack with a counter attack.
Right.
But that means already, like, if I have a check, it's very dangerous because you have to save the bishop. And if I have another forcing move, it's, despite that, very dangerous.
I probably should have just taken the e-pawn with my d-pawn.
Yes, this would have been a smart idea.
That was my thought. But then I was like, ooh, we can attack. And that seems... And I'm developing a bishop and getting more pieces into the game, which seemed really nice.
Yes, but the thing is, like,
yeah.
chess is...
We needed our knight developed first, I suppose.
Yes, knight f3 would have been... Okay, anyway, I mean, f4 is saying, okay, I will not play bishop... Queen takes g2 because I will take too much material from you. I'm a nice girl, I will play queen e4 check.
Oof. Brutal.
Just not to take too much money. I mean, I will not take on g2 now either. So for now, I mean, okay, I can do this, of course, but that's not the point. So I will play a little bit more merciful.
That's fair.
Okay, c takes d4. And let's give a check.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a annoying check.
But your rating is 1432, so you already must have improved by.
No, that's my like old 10-5 rating that existed a long time ago.
Ah.
Yeah. So let's see.
No, actually, Apricote, I'm not killing him slowly. I just don't want to kill him immediately.
That's a problem. Uh-huh. I mean, that looks like a spot I want. I would love to be able to do that, but that's a thing. Let's see if there any idea here. There. They can just do that, though, I guess. Okay, now takes, hits, moves, takes. So then
I bet you're calculating them tactics. I saw that.
yeah. I mean, of course you did. You're smarter than I am.
I mean, this is a good move. It's not like that you win material,
But
yet it's a good move because your king is weak, and this way you're exchanging queens.
Right.
Eliminating the bishop, getting the square. I mean, your tactics is very good.
Thank you.
But your sense of danger
is very poor.
No, it's not like very poor. It's just like it's. I mean,
oh,
like
oops! I dropped my bishop.
Yes, you dropped your bishop. And you know what? I will not take it.
No, you can take it. It's fine.
No. If I take it, then basically the game is already over, and I don't want that. Okay, I mean, like for us, like a piece up is like everything already. It's like you'll take this baby home without any worries.
Sounds right. Oh gosh, just all right. Let's just new game. I'm just done with this. I can't stop.
I mean, like like Alex, in your case, it's you need to be more patient.
I just can't even. Oh, that's the.
In German we say like that. I don't know if you have it in English.
It's my first game. I'm warming up. I gotta warm up. My mind can't see anything.
You have a phrase. It's saying like to go with a door into the house. I don't know if you have it in your language, which means like that you already like you don't want to get into the house slowly. You want to basically like with all your forces.
And is that German word literally 10 words together that are house, get, in, together, go, room, door?
Well, maybe I will ask someone in my chat, Sledgehammer, maybe you have the time to Google it, mit der Tür ins Haus fallen. Vielleicht kann jemand das auf Englisch googeln. Sledgehammer, du bist online und ich weiß, du sprichst Deutsch. Mit der Tür ins Haus fallen, das brauche ich mal schnell auf Englisch. So I just ask in German. I think my chat will answer that, and then I will give you the right translation. Bull in a China shop. Maybe this could be the right translation. I want to run. I mean, I got already some suggestions. People see.
Something like that. Yeah, that would have been.
To blurt things out. Blurt things out. I'm not sure this is the right paraphrasing. You're not sure
so
about that
blunders. To blurt things out.
Yeah.
I'm not a blurter.
I don't even know what it means, to be honest, to blurt things out. It's Google Translation. I think you have to look for the quote. Man muss wahrscheinlich googeln, Sprichwort mit der Tür ins Haus fallen, Englisch.
I felt like I just got berated.
You got what?
I felt like you were attacking me saying all that. Let's go.
To go like a bull at a gate. Does it make sense?
Like a bull at a gate.
To go like a bull at a gate. Do you have this quotation?
I don't think so. I mean, we have a bull in a china shop.
Yes, I think maybe this is
But
like
that's about being like not being delicate and careful, and you just kind of charge in there head first. I guess
yeah, I
that's.
mean like basically what you do in chess sometimes is like you go all in and you don't care about the consequences.
That sounds right.
Then yes, then it's a bull in China shop. Never even heard of this quotation in English.
Which means to say I'm over eager. Oh.
Yeah. Are you playing in any kind of chess.com event about streamer rivals? Or
No.
you were still like
I'm still in
not
I'm still
considered?
in training.
Because I know that they have some kind of other event, no? Rivals or streamers rivals. I don't know how it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got stream rivals stuff.
And again, you were not considered.
Yeah, it's okay. Such is the life of life.
That's just, I mean, that's just a life if you have only 100,000 followers.
Exactly. You need 200,000 minimum.
What do you think about 97? Why this is not a good?
Because it blocks my queen from protecting my bishop, and thus you get a
I
free
think
take.
it's not even. I mean, okay, knight takes c6 wins a piece, but I mean, the funny part is it's not even the worst.
Really?
Yep.
That's not the worst.
Nope.
I thought you said this is how I was supposed to make this move.
No, no,
Whenever
no, no,
the knight
no.
comes to
I
e5, then
You confused something, darling. It was with queen e7, not with rook e8.
with queen e7. Oh,
I mean, otherwise knight takes c6 would not be an issue now, and you wouldn't lose a piece, right?
yeah. So queen comes to e7 first.
Not rook e8. Rook e8 is a new move, but I mean, like what I told you was to play with queen e7, and if I take on d7 to take with a queen. But the thing is, with rook e8 here, you have two big problems. Look at what do you think are the sensitive spots in this position?
I mean, my king side is sensitive
Yeah,
on f7 and
and also
g7.
d7 is not sensitive because I don't have a single piece hitting on it.
Oh, h7, I mean, sorry.
Mm. So bishop takes h7 and queen h5 is already very scary.
Yes.
Knight takes c6, besides wins a piece. I will be nice. I will not do any of these.
Oof.
But I mean, like, whenever like you move the knight to d7 and you have f7 not protected just with the king, it's already like tactics in the air. You have to be super careful, especially playing against the London.
Okay.
So I mean, like, if you want to remember theory, you are forced either to remember it absolutely correctly, or you play it, or I will show you a different line where you don't have to be so precise. Because here you can get under the wheels quite quickly. One idea is bishop takes h7, queen h5 check, queen takes f7, and everything breaks apart. Knight takes c6 is winning the piece. Okay, I will play f4.
Well, that's still not great.
Knight takes e5. Okay, at least now there is not so much tactics involved anymore.
Okay.
Bishop e7. Okay. Why bishop e7 and not bishop f8? just for curiosity.
I always feel like bringing a piece back to the back rank is undeveloping pieces, and I'm going to get yelled at for not having it developed. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons to bring it all the way back, but that's my thought, is that you'll be like, and now your bishop, you're just setting up for the next game, you know?
No, I mean, like in this particular case, you're right about bishop e7 makes more sense than bishop f8. Because with bishop on e7, you have a chance to go to g5. And besides, since h7 is vulnerable, you leave the square to f8. But now imagine we don't have any tactical things involved in the position.
Mm-hmm.
Then usually they say like the bishops behind are the best because they don't disturb other pieces to work, just like the rook on e8. I mean, okay, now the e file is closed. That's why it doesn't matter. But in general, actually, like what often is the case, you develop both bishops, then you get the rooks to e8 and d8, and then once the bishop is hanging, you get it back to c8 and f8 because the bishops would still operate on the diagonal,
Okay.
but they would not disturb the rooks, especially when they're like walking on the files.
Right.
But this is just as something in general. Just to answer some question to my chat, I don't have a schedule nowadays because I'm moving between cities, and that's why I'm never sure when I can really stream with, okay, some exceptions, but next week it will be a little bit more sorted. Okay.
Liz is better. She's an IM.
Bishop h4. Alex, why this move is very bad? You still have one sensitive pawn. I mean, this move on bishop h4,
queen h5,
queen h5, bishop takes h7. I mean, I can even choose. But apart from that, let's skip the tactic. No, don't resign. I mean, I would not play it anyway, but let's skip the tactical part of it. What do you think? Which bishop is better in this position? Your
my
bishop
dark square.
or my bishop?
Well, I always felt like in the London, you want to like trade off the dark square bishops if possible.
No, not the dark squared bishop.
I mean, that's why people play d6 with the bishop, right? And then the white player pulls their bishop back to g3 so that if you trade it, then they get an open rook. And so
you know why they play bishop d6? It's about the e5 control. I mean, I showed you this bishop d6, queen e7, and that's why, I mean, you force this way to play knight e5, because if you push e5 yourself, you waken up the bishop on c8. So bishop d6 is not with the idea of exchanging. If white exchanges, it's good for you because you develop the queen with the tempo. But otherwise, the idea of bishop d6 is to fight for the central square e5. That's the main strategy about the London. If you play the London with white, you want to fight for the main square, the central square on e5. That's why it's often common to play knight c6, bishop d6, queen c7, because you want to push e5 to wake up your bishop on c8. But when it comes to exchanging, then, I mean, you have to look from the logical point of view. The white bishop, the white colored bishop from white, is a strong one because the pawns are on black. I mean, e3, d4, e5 are pawns which are on the black color. That's why my white bishop is a monster. And especially in this position, there's already bishop takes h7. And the bishop on g3 is the weakest piece in London, but it has a big job, and the job is the control of e5. If you get the control of e5, you can push e5 for black. That's why white, in the worst case, not allowing e5, would get with a knight to e5 and then push f4 just for this control. That's the main strategy of the London.
Okay.
Okay, next game.
Except...
Troy is making a bit fun of you.
That sounds about right.
A gift
Bishop
for you.
b5 check. Okay. Who taught you this move?
Nobody.
You're learning theory yourself?
Is that theory?
I mean, this is nowadays, even I would dare to claim one of the most popular moves.
It just seems like an intuitive move of it.
A gift for you.
Does a bunch of stuff. Thank you, D4T. Thank you, more features. So now if I drop back, I mean, you'll get a lot of pawn development, but pawn development creates weak squares, which is something. So let's go ahead and do it. Oh, that traps me. Gosh dang it.
Bishop. Oh, but Alex.
I saw it after. Yeah, I saw it 1 second too
late. I will
late.
not play it. I will not play b5 and c4. I mean, the idea, just to explain you the idea of this line with bishop b5 check, is to force a decision for black, because I have knight d7, I have knight c6, I have bishop d7.
Right.
If I play bishop d7, you can capture quickly, and then you can push with c4,
right,
and then later on d4 and get a lot of space in the center.
Right.
With a knight on d7, however, the main idea is not to play with c4, d4, but with c3 and d4, and to get a strong center. Anyway, bishop a4 is not played unless you have the pawn on c4 already, which is not the case, because here I could win a piece.
Yep.
But I will skip it now.
Ugh. I'll just pretend like I did the right move.
But this doesn't make, I mean, this logic now, I mean, like a6, you react, and then the next move, when I don't even force you, you take.
Well, I was doing it as a makeup for not taking prior.
I mean, like after a6, basically, you either take immediately.
Yeah, that was what I was. Yeah, that was my point. I was going to take immediately after a6. I messed up in moving the piece back, so now I'm making up for not taking by taking now.
I understand, but you know, there are two drawbacks of this. I mean, like now it's not about chess, it's about psychology.
Right.
You give your opponent the feeling that you confess an obvious mistake. You show weakness, which I mean, this is not even a joke. This is I mean, like chess is a high percentage absolutely about psychology. Sometimes, you know, when we play on top level and we play against someone who's equally strong, usually the one with a better or with a stronger psychology is getting the result, because you have certain moments in the games where you have to take certain decisions, and sometimes these decisions can be based on fear, on confidence, and this is all about psychology. With your move now, you already admit you did wrong beforehand. Yep. And sometimes to admit is good when you have no choice. But here, obviously, you had a choice. It was not that you were forced to capture on d7. You could have played, for example, c4.
For me, it was either I resign the game or I throw the bishop. That was my two options, because I'm not a fan of you being kind, I guess, and
no,
like.
I mean, no, this is not. I mean, like we are playing training games. There's no point for me to like use your mistakes in a demolishing way, because this is not how you will learn if you have like pieces down. It's not about this.
I know.
Just like this moment was about psychology and not about chess. That's why I'm telling you, with your move now, I mean, you basically give your opponent a big advantage from the psychological point of view, because he will feel much stronger because you confess a mistake.
Llama,
And as I said,
the point is
sometimes
to never
confess
give
a
up.
mistake
Do the best
can
you
be the
can,
right
so
decision
you can
if
see
this
why
is
your best is
objectively the
wrong.
best move.
That's how all of chat
But
learns.
here, it's not like that I forced you to take on d7. You could have played c4 or something else.
Right.
Anyways, let's continue.
Okay, so you want to fiend shadow that, so I guess I will also do the same.
Okay. I mean, here in this position, you know, like you got rid of the bishop, which means like I don't have a knight on c6 anymore. Instead of playing b3, I mean, look at your rook, right? On e1.
Yep.
Supporting the pawn on e4. At some point, you would like to push e5. Imagine you push e5 with some support of a pawn on d4.
Right.
So instead of b3, the setup with c3, d4, aiming for the absolutely control of the center would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because
I guess my thought was I'll play bishop to c2 and then push d4, and it'll be the same idea, but a bishop supporting instead of a pawn.
Yes, but the difference is like then if you capture back on e5 after I use my d pawn, it's not a pawn, it is a bishop, and this means like I don't have to move my knight on f6.
True.
It's a huge difference. So I mean, like in this setup, if you play with bishop b5 check and then you decide after a6 to capture on d7, you have two main plans. Either you play with c4, d4, but since you're a tactician and for you it's much easier in your style, you should play with c3, d4.
Yeah.
And then try to push e5 and smash the center, because if you had played c3, I would go for bishop g7. I have to finish my development. And after d4 already, I have to take a decision because e5 could be very inconvenient for me.
True.
Okay. I'll continue. Okay, but you know, like now you're mixing like my ideas with your moves. I mean,
I still think it works.
Llama, ever since
No,
I've
yeah,
been
of course
watching,
it
I've
works,
learned
but then
that
it's not-
sometimes when you
straight
go
for
or I'm being
nothing,
to
you
places
know.
where the thing is at where it could be, resulting in Michigan being
I
the
mean,
answer.
when I give you ideas,
Thanks.
these ideas are good in a certain moment. But if you combine my ideas with your moves and your initial ideas, it might be a bit tricky. But here, actually, it's fine. So, for example, in this position, you know, like black usually doesn't want to take on d4 immediately, because then I give the square for the knight on c3.
Right.
But here in this position, actually, it's different because you played b3, so you don't have the support of the square on c3 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That means here, after capturing on d4, I can play something like rook c8, and you don't have knight c3 immediately. And this is what I will do. Now I'm a little bit confused because Roy said about that you are a tactician, but he thought that you're an attacker, and I think attacker and tactician is pretty much the same. No, yes, I mean, like, to say something about Alex's style, Alex is very aggressive in his chess style.
Yeah, I'm not patient at all. I lose many games to back ranks and things because I leave my king completely exposed while all of my pieces push up the board. And then sometimes I forget to push the pawn or something.
I mean, just for the curiosity, in school, were you someone who was able to really listen to all the explanation of the teacher, or already like started the task before she even finished her speech? Imagine the teacher would give you a task.
I would turn in the assignment before she even finished reading the rules.
Yeah,
like,
that's. I mean, that would have been my guess. You know, you wouldn't even dare that she finishes her sentence. She says like, "Please do this and this," and then she starts to give an explanation what she's expecting, but you would already start.
Right.
And this is, I mean, sometimes the character of a person, I mean, or the traits of a person or his characteristic is very similar to the chess style.
Makes
mean,
sense.
I'm, for example, messy, not only like in terms of being Miss Messy, I am messy already like when it comes to sometimes my room, like not in a bad way, but I mean, I'm talented to hide my own things in such a good way that I don't find them.
Right. Oh, oops. I don't have my queen supporting that.
Now you blunder. I will not take this pawn.
You can if you want. It's okay.
No, I don't want to get such a big advantage.
Llama likes to use a new opening of his own design known as the Leroy Jenkins SSSS opening.
That's true.
Actually, it's funny what I mean, apparently I have a lot of people on my chat which come from your chat, and they tell me like that you shouldn't speed run as you do in Diablo when it comes to chess.
I think speedrunning is a wonderful idea.
I think, you know, like, I mean, maybe this is actually right. Maybe you're playing chess a little bit like as you're playing Diablo. And in Diablo, I watched
Sometimes
some
it
of
really
the
do be
streams,
like
and
that.
we have this kind of guy who's
Yeah.
running like crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hanging though. No. Here, takes.
I wonder what you calculate.
Dirty.
Obviously, because I don't see anything to. I mean, I see some calculation, but I don't see that there is a problem. But you may surprise me.
I mean, there's a problem here with the e5 push.
Can I sponsor one practice match with the rules?
Thanks, Troy, for
Llama
the
needs to
cheers.
say his thought process
Just
before
go like
making a move.
That and then that
And
doesn't
you have
work.
to interrupt him with yeah or neen if his thinking is good or bad.
Nine.
$50 for the winner and $25 for the loser. Posting in both
Actually,
chats.
Troy is suggesting something which is very interesting as an idea. You need to say your thought process before making a move, and I have to interrupt with a yes or no. If your thoughts are good or bad. And okay, I don't get why. I mean, who would win and who would lose? I mean, you would win if. I mean, this I don't understand, Troy. I mean, like,
she will win no matter what, Esroy. So just give her the 50 and call it good.
This I want to understand. Like, how can I win or how can I lose? I mean, like, I lose if your thoughts are good, or if I say no, then I win. And I mean, like, who can even judge that? I mean, you have to trust my honesty in a way, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm German. I'm usually very honest. But okay, Rook C1. Let's just try this in a general way. What were your thoughts about Rook C1?
My thoughts on Rook C1 are that I can't push E5 because you have an extra person with your queen there. I was thinking of pushing the pawn to B4, but then that doesn't really do anything. You can just move your queen anywhere and you're totally fine, so nothing really changes from that.
Why have you not
here
dropped
right
the
now
bundler
I've
from
got
your
pressure
Amazon
on
yet?
E8
When I
though,
mouse over
or
your face,
E7.
it shows that the Amazon you're
And
playing,
so-
Elisabeth, is wearing
And
only
so by
javelins
moving
and a
my
buckler.
rook to C1,
Obviously that is
I'm
not true.
threatening an exchange, I'm threatening a fork, all sorts of crazy stuff, and it kind of forces you to trade, in my opinion, which then gets me the open rook file.
So I mean, actually, Rook FC1 is a good move, and just I mean, just to try to match what was the idea of Ezroy. But actually, like here, Rook FC1 is a good move, and the idea of distracting my rook to hit on E7 is also absolutely correct. Because my initial thought in this position was, if I play Queen D2, this I would have liked to play because, okay, this square is quite weak.
Right.
You can take on C8 and then you will capture on E7. And this is something I don't want.
Right.
With Rook C1, you get the control of the C file.
Yep.
And that's why I will take now, because I don't want my pawn on E7 being in a problem. Let me ask you something else. If it was white to move, what tactical trick you have in this position?
I mean, I could play rook c8 and force
Very
a
good.
trade and then win a pawn.
Yes, very good. This is what I wanted to hear. Okay, now I'm greedy. I will capture a pawn.
Oh, you're so greedy.
Yeah, and also like I don't have time because I'm explaining all the moves.
Oh, can I add time to
My
your... No.
time,
Uh-oh.
so I should be a bit quicker.
Okay, so thoughts here. I can always just move my bishop up. I can move my queen over to c3 and threaten... No, I don't have mate threats because you have your bishop.
Okay, wait. I mean, you can play queen c3 and you just denied it. Why?
Well, I mean, I can still do stuff like moving my queen further, but like my queen becomes really I don't know. I just feel like it. I mean, it's good in the way of I can push e5 and do stuff like that with it, I suppose.
Okay, 1 second. I mean,
I
what
could
is the
also...
problem now for you in your position?
The problem is, I mean, I don't
What
know.
I want to play in the next move.
You'd love to capture my bishop. So I'm either bringing my rook to c2, my queen to c3, my bishop to a1, or my bishop to c3.
So, I mean, how you will solve the problem with the hanging bishop on b2? You had the idea, I mean, your initial thought was queen c3. This is your intuitive thought.
Yeah.
So in every thought which is coming by intuition, because this is usually the starting thought or the first move which comes to your mind, you should investigate on this move.
Right. So...
yeah.
So if I go queen c3, then I can trap your queen on the next move.
Exactly. So queen c3 was your first thought, which was based on intuition.
Yeah.
Usually, whenever you play chess, usually you always have a first thought. And this is the thought which is based on your intuition. Sometimes it's experience, sometimes can have different reasons. And then suddenly, like when you first time spoke about queen c3, you said something like which you didn't like and you denied it. But you should not, whenever like something is coming in the way which disturbs you, you should never like deny your first thought right away just because of some small issue or some issue which could be a problem. You should try to focus on the first thought because usually the first thought is the strongest thought, and to be honest, queen c3 by far is the strongest move in this position.
Yeah.
Because I have to do something about my queen, and to be very honest, I'm not even sure yet what it will be.
Okay, your move. Go. Time.
Okay, I will. I mean, I'm this is tricky, you know. I will always come up with something, and I will solve the problems because I've already thought what to do after that.
Oh, you're so tricky. So let me see.
Queen c3 was objectively a very, very strong move, but I had knight c5 to save my little bubble.
And do I have any way to... Let me see. If I push there, you take there. I mean, I still feel right. Like if I push bishop to or pawn b4.
Yeah, good move. But
then I mean, you can just move your queen to b3, I suppose, and just offer a trade.
No. I mean, if you push your pawn to b4, I will do something which you will not like.
You can take on e4 as well.
Well, this is one option, but there is something which you will like even less.
There's a worse option than that?
I mean, the thing is like what...
Oh, you can go to bishop. You can go horsey to a4.
Yes, but
fork me.
Like what less experienced players always forget is they look at the move, but they don't look at what this like move causes or what this piece was doing before.
Yeah.
And if you play b4 and you see this kind of threat, that, okay, b3 is hanging, but you don't pay attention what was the pawn on b3 doing before it was moving. It was taking control of the square on a4. And that's important.
So, I mean, I still feel like I'm winning if I just go rook a1, right?
Why you should be winning?
Don't I win a piece?
Well, I can take on b3, right?
And then I take on a2. Oh, you take with your... Oh, okay. You take with your queen on b3.
Yes, I take with my queen on b3. And I take
Yeah.
with the bishop.
So then you actually win a pawn from this. That's dirty. I'm supposed to be trapping your queen.
I mean, queen c3 was amazing, but I was lucky that I had a defense.
There's got to be something trickier I can do here. Oh, wait. Can't I just take your knight with my pawn? But then I lose the queen. Gosh dang it. You are just the tricky queen master of everything. Oh.
I mean, like, this remembers me, like, whenever, like, someone was angry with me, and it's like, you are such a tricky, saying the B word and then saying babe, you know?
Such a tricky babe.
Instead of the other word reminds me now on it. But okay. I mean, honestly speaking, your position is probably still lost, as sad as it may sound.
That's very sad sounding.
And I mean, like, let me think if I find something tricky for you.
I mean, even if I go knight b4, she still just takes the pawn on b3, and then we trade, and then she's still ahead.
No, but look, you have to move your queen.
Right.
You have to move your queen.
I mean, do I have... Does moving my queen even matter right now? Like, she's not under threat exactly. I guess it allows me the threat, but you can still always take on b3.
Yes, this is a problem. So, I mean, like, even if you move your queen, you would lose material. So, objectively, your position is still bad, but no, b4 is not a good move because of knight a4. So, b4 would lose even a piece. So, objectively, the position is just bad, but it's not about that. I mean, queen c3 is a strong move, but I mean, the position in general, it was already not good, because of your mixing plans of b3 and c3. I'm not sure. I've been even thinking what I would do if I was you.
I don't even know. I mean, all right, let's just do it. Let's just... I have no... I don't have a move.
No, I mean, like, I'm not even sure what you. I mean, if you had a good move in this in this position already.
I don't feel like I did.
Unlucky.
Don't get trapped.
Okay. I have to be quick again.
Me too. I have even less time than you.
We get 5 seconds per move.
You close that off. Now I'm kind of sad I did that.
But okay, you have 2 pawns down.
Ah!
It's no problem anyway, Alex. You had not a good position.
It was, yeah, that was rough. There was a lot of discussion time in that. So.
Okay, e5. Actually, like, you know, with your style, you should play Sicilian, in my opinion.
Probably, but I don't know. I've always just tried to keep it simple. I feel like I should learn E4, E5 first and just like play the Gucci piano and do like simple stuff first until I get better at chess, and then I can make decisions after that.
This is actually right because I mean they don't teach beginners for no reason e4 e5. I
Right.
mean you should at the beginning play open positions in order to get the feeling how to develop pieces. So in this particular way, you're absolutely right to come up with the most classical lines.
So I'm always curious about that like bishop move back.
I tell you why. If I keep my bishop on c4 and you will play short castle,
Yeah.
there are two reasons. First of all, when you play d5, I'm forced to take on d5 and give up my central pawn, leaving you the central dominance or the space because you will be the only one with a central pawn on e5.
Right.
One thing. The other thing is like, I mean, now if you push d5, I don't have to react with my e-pawn. I can play knight e2 and I can keep my central pawn. The second reason is that with a bishop on c4, you have knight a5, and you could hunt down my bishop a bit. But
Right.
with bishop on c3, if you play knight a5, I have always bishop c2.
Right.
And the third reason is I have, despite that, the way to play bishop c2 and push d4, so I am more flexible in a way. It's a good waiting move, which
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of professional players play it, but obviously nobody at my level plays it. And so that's kind of been my thought. My volume's gone up. Oh, Zoom must be adjusting my volume levels. Sorry. It shows it's the same right here. I don't know. It must be Zoom taking control of it, though. How do I turn that off? Is Nasir in here? Hi, Nasir. Oh no, she's. We need to play stupid now and not let her have our tactics.
But you know what you can do afterwards? You should play with Nicaea because this is more like a common level, and I will commentate on that from both sides, and you would both benefit, and nobody would have like a kind of disadvantage, or we cannot even call it cheating because it's a friendly game.
Yeah. So here, I don't like you having this like line on f7. And if you take, then it opens up my knight or my rook as well. And then you don't have a light square bishop. And then it allows for more d5 pushing because I have an extra pawn supporting. I feel like your light...
Good move. Bishop e6 suits the position because you interrupt the diagonal.
Right.
So it's less stress on f7.
I just know I've lost multiple games by like them having that line, you know, like the bishop there just eventually.
Diagonal, you mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's just nasty.
And now also like with bishop b3, I mean, that's even the fourth or the fifth reason I have bishop c2 and I don't have to exchange the bishops.
Right.
And here you should be careful in a way, not necessarily now, because the king is still on e1. But imagine I had short castle already, and then I had a very bad threat to push d4, attack your bishop on c5, and then to push d5 and have the fork. That's why what black is doing as well, doing some prophylactics on the bishop on c5. Since you didn't play a6.
Oh, the fork of...
d4. I mean, now it doesn't work yet because after d4 you can capture. I capture, you give a check on b4.
Right.
So you save your pieces.
Yep.
And I have to react, and then you can do something about d5.
Mm-hmm.
But what black is doing in this position usually is also doing some waiting move for the bishop on c5, not to be exposed to pushes like b4 and d4. Yes, exactly. Right. b6 is a very good move.
Yep. And that's, I like to do that a lot where I take it back some.
Another rule, just, I mean, to memorize, because it will be very hard for you to defend. If white didn't castle yet, and I played h3, you should not blindfoldly play h6.
Right.
Because
I've learned that mistake.
then you have g4, g5. Yes, very good.
I already lost a game like that.
Okay, very good, very good.
It was very sad. Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible game. I lost so fast and I was so confused because I was like, what? I can't even like just play h6 to just stop the... Nope.
No, don't play h6 if your opponent didn't castle. This is like, I
Right.
mean, I won games like this against very strong players, not knowing that.
So I guess my question is, when can I push d5? Like right now seems like a totally fine time to push d5.
No.
But I just have no clue when it's like actually good or not.
d5, okay, maybe particular in this position it's fine, but knight g5 is a threat. I mean, h6 always makes sense, and since I short castle, you should use the opportunity to play h6 now.
Okay.
Because I will not come up with g4, g5, obviously.
So just wait for that.
Yes, so you prevent knight g5, bishop g5.
Let's say you hadn't short castled yet, and you bring your bishop to g5. Is h6 okay in that instance?
Yes, in this distance it's okay. Sometimes you can afford to play g5 and
Right.
then the maneuver of knight e7, knight g6. But this depends a bit on the position. Just,
Okay.
I mean, like, I cannot give you this as a kind of rule.
Okay.
Okay, h6. So, I mean, like, you will do like this. We will finish the game, and if nice here is still here, I would like to see you guys playing, and I will give hints on both sides. And
Aw,
this
man.
is no...
You're supposed to help me win. She had a GM help her win the other day. That wasn't fair.
But okay, I mean, Alex, the thing is like, it doesn't matter who is your brain or who is your hand, which GM. The idea is like to feel your pupil. And
That's fair.
I don't want to say anything like negative about Anushka because she's my darling. But I think when it comes to feeling, I think I feel you much better
It's true.
in a way. Because I already like can sense your thoughts.
It's true.
But we have been working more together.
So the problem with that is she could do something like this, and then this is exposed. So even if takes, and so not doing anything over there. I kind of want to move my knight like e7, g6 anyways, and just eye up on the f4 square.
This is a very good plan. This is one of the like good maneuvers of the position because you bring your knight to g6. Also with knight e7, you have another idea in this position.
Pushing
and this
d5.
Sometimes like c6 and d5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Now
that's also a spot that I really hate. Is my c7 pawn in this position is like always so worthless. Like it just gets trapped. It just sits behind that knight. It eventually gets lonely, and then later on in the game, they just take it. And it's like, I never have a good solution for what to do with it. So let's see. Do I even want to take here, or do I? I guess if you...
Chess is a central game. I mean, if you take on d4, you give me the power of the center. You make my pawns being flexible.
Yeah, I feel like playing c6 is better here, just to...
Wait. I mean, after d4, what am I attacking, Alex?
After d4, you're attacking my e5 pawn.
And you played knight e7. I mean,
I don't have that. I don't have that second protection anymore. So now I just play knight to g6.
Yes, you follow your plan.
Yeah,
and you
continue my
solve the
plan.
problem.
Yep.
But I mean, in general, like when it's, I mean, you can. I always try to explain like when I explain chess to really bloody beginners, which you are not. But it's a very good way to compare to playing bowling. I mean, they never understand like the importance of the control of the center.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hit the bullet in bowling, it's obvious that if the bullet is hit it in the middle, all these guys are falling apart.
Right.
And chess is very similar. Like if you control the center, you have such a power that it is sometimes very hard for the other side to defend. So that's why if you can keep the center or can keep the pressure of the center in general, as a general rule, you should try it by capturing on d4, unless you can then have something else to hit the center. You should not do it necessarily because you give me the total control.
Yeah.
And this could be very dangerous for you because chess is, as I said, a very central game. Everything, the most important thing is the power of the center because all your pieces and your space and everything is connected. Okay, knight g6. Now I should get my other knight into the game, and I will do that.
Okay. So now I can't continue with my plan of going to f4 because you then can just take the pawn.
Probably yes, but honestly, it's also very dangerous for me to take the pawn. Because if I take the pawn twice, you can take bishop takes h3, and this is getting super, super dangerous. Because after bishop takes h3, I have to capture back. You can take with a knight, and then I captured on e5. The diagonal of the bishop is open, so you can capture on f2. And then you have an undiscovered check. You can follow what I say.
Okay, so you're saying knight f4, pawn takes, knight takes, and then bishop takes h3, pawn takes h3, and then knight takes h3 with a check. You have to move your king to probably threaten my knight, to be honest. So you probably go to h2, I would imagine. And then
h2 doesn't matter, and you take on f2.
I take on f2, threatening your rook.
Wait, I take even with a knight on f2, not even with a bishop on f2.
Oh, I take with the knight on f2. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
With a knight on f2, like I attack the queen, and I think your compensation could be huge. Not clear, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So after knight f4, I will not even dare to capture on e5 unless I'm very sure I will do something else.
Yeah. That's a really long, crazy line that we don't think about at 1200. But at 2000, that's what I do think about. Okay. I mean, I still have worry, though, about, like, this pawn, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like still bringing the knight to f4, but, you know, undefending a pawn for some crazy line seems crazy. I feel like I should just play, like, c3, and then
c6,
c6, d5.
C6 is a decent move, yes.
You know, and then it's less insane.
No, knight f4 was possible. I wouldn't even have captured on e5, actually.
Yeah.
To be very honest.
Okay, so now you're trying to do the same thing I'm doing. So now, is there any thought of h5, h4?
h5, h4. If you play h5, you give the square on c5.
Right, which is, I guess that's more dangerous to give your knight that square. So, good call. So if I push, takes, I mean, I feel like pushing d5 right now seems good because I just have so much presence there, and that kind of opens my position a little bit.
It's a bit. I mean, like you lose a pawn with that actually.
I lose a pawn
after you push d5. Yes, I mean e5 is then not protected.
So maybe I should take with e5 first, take d4, and then push the pawn. But then you can just push back.
Then I will play e5, and I will open my diagonal of the bishop on c2.
God.
I mean, this is the thing, Alex. This position requires patience. I would suggest you just improve your position. Your rooks are not playing. Your queen is not playing. Exactly. Very good.
It's crazy.
But this is, I mean, chess is a game where you need to show patience. You cannot take a bull into a Chinese shop, or what was it about?
Yeah, you charge in head first like a crazy man. Okay, so you're probably eyeing up. Thank you. You're probably eyeing up f5. I don't think I can do anything about it. Except I'll just have to trade and then bring my knight to f4 and then make a trade right there, I suppose. But then you can take this pawn. No, you can't because my queen will be defending it. Okay, let's just get our rooks involved.
Yes, very good. Rook d8, good move, because okay, now already d5 is a totally different story, because if I then would capture with a pawn on e5, you have something about taking on e4 and my queen would be hanging.
Right.
That's why also my alarm bells are ringing, and I'll move e2.
I was hoping you wouldn't. Okay, so now I feel like... No, I still can't make this push. So now, if I go knight f4, bishop takes, pawn takes, I have pressure on your knight, and it forces your knight to move back into a weird spot. And then... Maybe I should just push d5 first. Knight f4 still seems kind of interesting, but I guess I'm losing. No, because you're having to react to the queen. Let's try it.
Knight f4. Okay, knight f4 has an advantage and a disadvantage.
Right.
The advantage is, okay, you get rid of one bishop. The disadvantage is, after I capture, you get a double pawn and I will have a nice center.
Right.
And obviously after knight f4, I will not come up with something like queen f1 because it's a little bit too passive for my taste.
A gift for you. Think you can hit 2,200 sometime?
And be happy about my good center.
So now, if I push, I guess that doesn't work there.
G5. You're always like having the bull in the Chinese shop.
Gotta do it. Honestly, I had to make a move, and I didn't like...
I didn't have much time, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Had
but
to find something.
You know, the disadvantage about this move is like that, well, you really weaken the diagonal of b1, h7, and ideas like queen d3 in the air, which could be not very convenient.
Yep. That was definitely on my mind. But I figure let's get aggressive.
Yes, I know. You can't be patient. I understand. I was also, I mean, I can't be patient in anything else but in chess. In all the other things, I don't have patience. Absolutely not. But in chess, okay, I learned it from childhood. So I learned to be patient.
Yeah.
But I understand this feeling that to sit still, you know, and to do like slowly move by move.
Right. Yeah, because if I push d5, you push e5, and then, you know, if I bring my knight to e4, you take, I trade, you win a pawn from that.
I mean, the thing is, like, especially like when you are playing blitz and rabbit games with little time control, you should always aim for, I mean, explain me the move a6.
I needed to make a quick move, and it seemed very safe.
Okay, if you wanted to make a quick move, get king g7. This has the idea of getting rook h8 the moment you need in case the square on h7 is weak.
But can't you just push the pawn to e5, and then you have a discovered check to take my knight?
Well, if I push the pawn on e5, you capture, I capture, you get with a knight somewhere.
Well, no, I'm in check, though.
Where's the check?
If my bishop's on... Oh, g7, not h7.
No,
okay.
king g7, of course, not h7.
Yeah, I was like, h7 seems terrible. Got it. Thank you, Epic.
Well, I can give you more time here.
You can, like, click a button, and it's like, add 15 seconds or something, right?
Yes, but I'm not seeing this button. One on time. Now what we will do? We will play Rook C1, Rook D1. I know, but then we have 3 times repetition if you do this.
Let's do it.
Okay, Rook C1, Rook C8, then Rook B8, Rook B1, and we will win. Just make it quick so you gain the time. Play quicker, we get the time. Okay, now you gain some good moves.
Yeah, I moved it back.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now at least you got some time. But I will not do like, you should get the king, please, out of...
Yeah, I'm just going to move it back to the position. You go back. Okay. No!
That's what I was afraid.
Oh!
But I'm not sure how I can, I mean, like maybe we'll, anyway, I think now what you should do, you should play with nice here.
Okay.
And I will be like looking at it, it's more authentic because, okay, I mean, your level is probably a slightly stronger. I don't know actually how it goes.
That's like the same.
I have to add you as a friend and then I can give you time, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Complicated stuff. Okay, I will follow you now, Alex, and Nicaea should challenge you. So I will commentate on your both games.
The French.
Yes. I will just quickly get some water and I will be back in a second, okay?
Okay. Something like that, Annie. It's a win in my books. Yep. Thank you, South. The classic. Let's see. Knight here.
Fresh meat.
Threaten some thingies. Thank you, Bear. Mwah! Kisses to you all.
Fresh meat.
We can also bring our bishop here and just get like a pin. But maybe this is the better move because I'm just threatening some weird stuff.
Okay, now I can follow this a bit better.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Knight b5. You're like always playing very tricky.
I don't know. These positions are weird. Where you know the French and the Queen comes out and they're threatening that B pawn and being annoying and you know just being annoying. So I figure this is a better move. We get a little tricky. Maybe we have some fun. You know that sort of stuff. Okay.
Nice. Good move by Nicaea.
Yeah, she cheated.
Why?
Well, that's a good move. She's not supposed to play good moves.
Actually, someone in chat said, and this is right, you're not obeying the rules, Alex. The rule says in the opening, the golden rules, you don't move a developed piece twice unless you win material.
Yeah, that's probably the smart way to do it. Okay, so like obviously, let's see. So if I play knight to d6, she takes with bishop, I take with pawn. Then I've got a really solid pawn. It's undefended though. If I bring my bishop out to f4 to defend that pawn, she can take my pawn on b2. But then I've got this really interesting pawn that's like way deep in her area. I don't know if that's worth anything at this point though. Maybe later. If I was alpha 0, I'd have a thing for that. My other thought is I can just push the b pawn as well. I can play b4 or I can play b3. Then I don't even have to worry about that stuff. which feels like probably a better move here.
B4.
Well, b4 is takes, and then
Hang on. I mean, after b4, I mean, black has two choices: taking on d4 or taking on b4.
Right. I guess both of them. I mean, it's bad. So I don't like b4. I'm saying b3 is my thought. Just to like protect this pawn from that queen.
But b3 is making your diagonal very bad.
It is making a bad diagonal.
I might play a6. You have to go knight a3, and then I will take on d4, followed by bishop b4 check, and then you can say, Houston, I got a problem.
Right, exactly. I mean, I feel like a6 is coming anyways. You know.
That's why you need a good square for your knight on b5, and the knight on a3, and the knight on the rim is thin. Solve this. How to solve the issue?
I guess I could take on c5, and then I can have my knight there.
This is objectively probably even the best move here. Even so you might lose a pawn this way, still it gives you the best chances because the position is already bad.
You think this is a bad position?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a fantastic position.
Okay, prove it.
What if I go a4, and then I can bring my knight back to a3?
I will anyway capture on d4, and if you take with a pawn, I have bishop b4 check, and well...
Then I just move my bishop in front, or my knight.
Yeah, it's possible. a4 is probably even. Yeah. a4 you can try.
Yeah. Who challenged me? Also nice.
I will meanwhile sneak into your chat. Oh, look how I can sneak into your chat.
The game's unrated, yeah.
Just to see what's going on in your chat. I'll have some time. I mean, in general, like whatever chat is suggesting here, the position itself doesn't look so good. But it's still okay. It's nothing to... I mean, if I had such a position, for example, against Anushka, I would not have a chance probably anymore.
Well, that's Anushka. I mean, that's standard procedure.
No, it's not like standard procedure. It depends how much advantage I give her, but this is already decisive in a way, this initiative.
I feel like there's some line here that works. Okay, so she's bringing her knight.
That's Paul. I mean, I would have taken on d4 and play bishop b4 check and do some issue about that. But what she was doing is fine too. It's not like it's a mistake.
What if I just bring my rook over to b1? I guess she can still bring her knight into b4. So maybe... I mean, I'm going to have to move my rook either way because she's coming to b4 regardless. And I have no way to stop it. If I push b4 or b3, so if I push b4, takes, I just lose a pawn. Okay. I'm not smart enough to know why Llama's position is bad, but it looks bad. You could say it's bad because I'm not developed that much. My knight is on the rim, some things like that. But I've got this sexy 4 in a row diagonal, so that has to count for something. And like in connect 4, I would have won right now. But
Yeah, but I mean, like your initial mistake is to not obey to the golden rules of the opening. And the golden rules of the opening is not moving your pieces twice only for some dirty, cheap tricks.
what I should have done is brought my bishop to b5 instead of my knight. And then I
Or
have
just
a
like
pin.
actually like when you played knight a3, knight a3 is a good move, but then you get the knight not to b5 but to c2 in order to like stabilize a pawn on d4, which is like objectively your weakest pawn
Right.
at some point.
Yeah.
You would also like get the control of the square on b4 with a knight on c2. Then you play bishop e2 or bishop d3 and short castle, and everything is fine.
I guess
But
my
I mean, like,
my question always comes down to what do I do with this stupid b2 pawn? Like, do I just bring my rook to b1 and then defend it that way?
you mean like about knight b3 now?
I mean, she has a queen on b6 attacking b2. What's my...
I mean, like usually, like you play knight a3, knight c2, and then you have ideas like a3, b4, or you can play rook b1 as well.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Now that I have another defender on d4, I don't need the c3 pawn defending anymore.
But you know, like tactically now, for example, already you have a problem. Because, I mean, okay, if I say it now, then she will play it. I will wait for her move before I will tell. I already like, you know, like after rook b1, what is the problem? If you like consider the queen on b6.
The queen on b6. What's my problem?
Rook on b1 and the knight on a3. The pawn on b2 is not a defender anymore after rook b1.
The pawn on b2 is defending.
It's not defending anything anymore after rook b1. Because there's an indirect pin of the queen on b6 and the rook on b1. Which means the pawn on b2 is not defending c3 and a3 in this moment.
Well, I was going to just move my bishop out on the next move.
Yeah, but look, I mean, instead of bishop e7, she could have taken on d4.
Okay.
If you take with the knight,
yeah,
bishop takes a3, you lose a piece because you cannot. The pawn on b2 is not a defender.
Oh, oh wow.
You had to take with a queen.
Dang.
Then there's bishop c5, intermediate move. You move the queen. Okay, then to d3 you can do this to order to hold the rook on b1, but then f2 is heading. So basically that's what I said. I mean these kind of things for us are automatic because I look at the position and I immediately understand there was a problem. I feel it. But
yeah,
yes,
there
okay,
is.
You feel in the speed run something like that. Now you have to turn the guy left and right. I mean, at some point we might have to make a stream about Diablo. Maybe I'm talented. I don't know. But what I wanted to say is like, I can feel it or I can sense it, and that's why I tell you the pawn on b2 was not a defender anymore.
Yeah.
She didn't see it, but there was c takes c4 and bishop takes a3.
Join my army of the dead.
I would pay to watch Elisabeth run normal any % non-sork with your guidance.
No, at some point I have to learn like to do this Diablo because I'm very curious to learn other games. I just don't know what is Diablo about.
Just an ARPG game.
I mean, you have this mannequin to run and collect and shoot.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
But isn't it not in the Valorant the same?
You just do those. Just run, collect items, level up, kill monsters. You know, the standard. All right. So my thoughts are right now. Oh God, I think my voice just got loud. My thoughts right now are I can play b4, or I can play something with like the bishop like to okay. G5.
Okay, look at the position. You have a knight on the rim, a5, right?
Yes.
And regarding this, well, what piece piece. I mean, b4 is a good move, but not necessarily now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, I mean, I can tell you the move, which is good here, but you will not be able to play it then.
Right. I mean,
Because I don't want Nicaea to play against me.
So the moves that I would play right now are bishop to g5, bishop to e2, so I can short castle, or pawn to b4, so that I can attack. Those are probably the 3 moves I would play. I could also take on c5, and then I do the whole forky thing if she takes back, which would be really fun.
Well, this is the strongest move in the position because you're winning a pawn this way.
Don't I lose? Yeah, I guess that's good. But the problem is I do have c4 hanging, which is not great. So, yeah, I think... Yeah. Because I do have that c3 pawn. And then I guess if we just lose that outside pawn, you know, it's just an outside pawn. You can't even win with it. All you can do is draw. So, like, you know. Gross.
How good is Masha at Diablo? Because I know that you're playing.
How good is who at Diablo?
Masha, I mean Maria.
Oh,
Emelianova.
yeah, she's good. She's actually really good, like super impressive.
Okay, because it's interesting, like, okay, we are all kind of positional strategy players. I mean, like when I was playing the Settlers of Catan with my brother against our friends, it was always just a question whether my brother wins or me, because we're the chess players. Yeah. And all the other friends who had never like any connection to any kind of strategy games, they had never a chance to win a match. It was always a battle between my brother and me. And I think it's similar for all the people like who are playing any kind of games and strategy games, because there must be some kind of advantage in terms of perception.
Right. Okay, so now I could actually still play b4 and just kind of solidify up this position a lot.
Always remember, Alex, the first thought is always the thought you should focus on.
Okay, so b4 solidifies it up, attacks her knight. I mean, that seems nice. Rook a1 also puts threat, but she just moves her queen back. And then, but then her knight's undefended. But then she could move to b5. Nope, so Rook a1's just a free piece. Yeah, she can't do anything with that.
I mean, what I want, Alex, is to trust you more, because b4 is by far the strongest move in the position. That's why even if you see a problem about this move, try to solve the problem rather than to immediately jump to another move.
Queen e4 check. Yeah, but then I can still put threat on the queen, right? I can offer a queen trade. I guess they can still get out. Yeah, so they could still get out with a queen e4 check, I suppose. It does allow a little bit of piece development, but then they get away. Good call. I don't know if she would have seen it. Okay. So now... do I have any cool queen trapping? I don't think I do, unfortunately. So she's threatening 4 squares. All of them are defended, so her knight right there doesn't do anything currently with my bishop existing. I can bring my rook back to attack that queen, or I can try and do some piece development if I would like as well. And that doesn't seem like a bad idea. If I trade takes, That pawn
Like,
is...
you are running short of time. I should remind you from my chat.
Yeah. I could
Trust your
also...
I mean, like, when you have no time, trust your intuition more. I mean, okay, obviously, like, look, you have a problem on e5. You have not yet brought your king into safety. So solve this problem in all the means without losing time.
I mean, I don't think I can save e5.
You can save e5 and you can even like speed up your development with a king in one move.
What? Okay.
Very good. Because the thing is, like, sometimes, you know, like, you cannot think in a sophisticated way. I mean,
Yeah.
exactly. And follow the basic rules. Get your pieces out, develop, get your king into safety, because at your level, king safety is the most important thing.
That makes sense. Okay. Oh, not a lot of time. Oh no, she had that. I still feel like this is... I mean, if she can find a way out of this, then, like, hats off to her. To not lose a piece here. Oh, I guess there's, like, this idea. And then, like, this idea. That's kind of interesting. Looks like she found it. Whoa! Oh, she could just take a piece. Son of a gun.
What did you do?
I'm short on time.
Well, doesn't matter. Okay. Now it's time, Alex. Since you have a piece down, you have to be aggressive. Because you have to...
Aggressive is my middle name.
I know. Boy!
God. What's happening? Oh.
I mean, like, I just had to make some mods because there was someone in the chat who was not speaking very nicely. And now I got S-Roy a mod and I got Zit a mod and now they're cleaning. But you see, like, what you did, Alex, without my help even, you know? But Alex, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, like, I shouldn't even...
I don't have time!
Yeah, but okay, I mean, not having time doesn't mean, like, to capture without thinking.
Well, that's what I do.
Oh, boy. She blundered.
Oh, dang it, she blundered. Crap.
Doesn't matter. Okay, but I'll let you play.
Oh wait, I have time now. Oh, I'm sorry. I was forgetting that time is relative or something like that.
You know, I'm still looking. You know what is my dream, Alex? That at some point you will play one of these streamer competitions, and I will be coaching you. And for each blunder you do, I will have a sip of wine to overcome my nerves
I don't
and
like
my
this.
sorrows.
That's a lot of
Because
wine.
no, but you know what people don't understand. If you're coaching someone, then all your heart and all your emotions are into it. And when this someone blunders, you get like a really bad feeling, and you suffer even more than the player itself. I mean, you don't know this feeling, but I can tell you because I had met this experience. I was like bleeding insidely. I coached once 2 girls in the World Championship, and I was literally like bleeding when I see that they were doing a bad move.
I get it. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So you got beaten up by a girl.
I wouldn't call it beaten up at all. It was very...
I was just like mocking you a bit. Because I like actually that Nicaea is playing well. Maybe you have a chance for stalemate, but
I'm trying stalemate tricks, but she wouldn't let me. I tried to box it in.
You'll see.
I tried to box it in. Oh!
No.
Dang it. She's not going to let me have it. GG. Almost got the box.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, let's play another game. Congrats, Nicaea. Well done. So, I mean, like, we have to work also on the time management.
GG. Well, I don't know. I don't really care about winning or losing these games right now because I'm trying to spend a lot of time like talking about it. So
No, I mean, actually, like, maybe you should like adjust a little bit the time in order to get more time increment.
maybe
To get 10 seconds or 20 seconds, because this way actually it's easier to talk about things.
try 10-10. Hey, Lamar.
I mean, you know how to custom challenge, right?
Yeah, I did it. Games. You want to play again, Nicaea? Did you get my challenge?
I will tell her
Okay.
because she's in my chat. She didn't accept yet?
Oh yeah, cause that. No, she hasn't.
I will ask her again, otherwise I'll jump in.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Some people say like she's still celebrating her victory. So she's busy.
Whatever. Oh, I had mate. In 5.
Well,
But
I mean,
they
okay,
have
at some
to
point
go there.
it was
Oh man, yeah.
7 and there's something.
Everything was good until I threw it all away. And then
You
she
should make an
threw it all
unrated
away.
stuff. I mean, Alex, you should send unrated, otherwise it might be tricky because.
Oh, I thought I
yeah,
did. Oh, my bad.
no,
I sent a
it's
new
okay.
one. Yeah. Huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Already missing. Interesting. I mean, like, it's interesting. You're both playing openings which are very, let's say, challenging from the positional point of view. You're playing against the center. What does it mean for you? What do you think, Alex? Playing against the center, meaning like playing against space advantage of your opponent. What you should do in general?
Attack on the wings.
Well, I mean, like attack the center. And the other thing is like changing pieces for you is not bad because you have less space.
Right.
I mean, what I want to give you as a basic rule is like if you play in terms of not having space, for you in general, it's good to change pieces. And obviously also to attack the center. How can you attack the center here? What you think is like a very natural move in a way?
Pawn
Because-
C5.
Absolutely. Very good.
That's what I was looking at. I was just trying to calculate if she pushes D5, then takes, and then she's got her pawn there, but I guess her queen's kind of having to defend it, and it's isolated a little bit, but I guess she can then play C4, and then she's got this like nice center, so that was my fear. Oh, I wouldn't know, because, yeah, so she'd have a nice center doing that.
I mean, if she plays d5, for example, now, she would weaken a lot the diagonal of h8, a1, which means you could, for example, like capture and play bishop f6 and c3 is very weak.
Of
So, I mean,
h8, a1?
Usually when you speak of a diagonal, you take the longest distance. That's why I said the diagonal h8, a1, the whole diagonal.
Oh, okay.
I mean, specifically, it would mean f6, c3, because
Right.
the bishop would go to f6 and the pawn is on c3 to, but usually we got taught when we explain, we should use the longest distance of the diagonal.
What is that move? A3?
Well, a3 is not bad, actually, because she's prophylactical.
Trying to prevent knight b4, I guess.
Bishop b4. Exchanging. I mean, like with a3, after capturing on d4, you don't have bishop b4 check. Because for you, like to simplify and to exchange pieces is good because you have less space. So with a3, she's super prophylactical against any check on b4. So it's actually a smart move. And she can afford it because she's anyway very close to get the king into safety. Good. Oh, well done, Nicaea. For this, it's deep.
Cheats. Okay, so let's see. If I take on d5, she takes back with pawn. I play.
The threat is stronger than the execution, Alex. Why to take on d4 and clear it if you can keep the pressure?
I don't know.
Press on. And what is the main weakness of the construction of c3 d4? It's
c3.
Not the pawn. Absolutely.
So how do I pressure c3 though? It's so far back. I mean, I can go f6 and just, but then she can
No,
take
don't
on.
go F6.
No, then she
You
takes
can make-
c5.
Don't make unnecessarily pawn moves. You say like the base of d4 is c3. Attack
Yeah.
the base. Always try to attack the base.
All right, so I
Because-
could play b5.
No, with
That does.
how to attack the base. What piece is not yet playing and how to attack the base. It's also a very common move in the Grünfeld defense.
I
This
could
is not-
play queen to a5.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, when you attack something, usually it's always good to attack the roots.
I just felt like then she brings her bishop back to d2, and then
Okay, and she will not play c4. I mean, if she takes the bishop to d2,
yeah,
you could even consider to get queen c7, and she can't go bishop f4 anymore, and you improved your queen, and the bishop got worse. Right? Bishop d2, queen c7,
Yeah.
you have the queen on a good square, and the bishop cannot go back to f4. So you won the mental fight. No, I mean, you want the psychological fight.
yeah.
And in psychological fights in chess, okay, this is of course a blunder what she did.
Okay, so let's see. Now I just take on d4.
Yes, because the c3 pawn is
Yeah.
invalid.
Yeah, she can't do anything with that.
Queen b6 instead of queen a5 doesn't make much sense because of rook b1. You would just force the rook to get activated on the open file.
So what if she like brings her bishop back now? I guess then I still just take the other pawn.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't give you so many hints, otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, don't. I'm speaking out loud. This is not.
No,
You
it's
don't have to
okay. I
answer
mean,
these
I-
questions. These are for things that you can discuss later. So if she brings her bishop back to d2 now, I can. If I just drop my queen back, then she just takes the pawn, and she just wins the pawn. So instead, I guess I would just take. She would take with a check on me or threat on my queen, and then I would just drop my queen back, and now I've just won a pawn. See you, Noger. So that would be my thought for that. Yeah. I'm not sure there's anything else I'd really do there. Yeah, I just don't. Okay, so now I can offer a queen trade if I want. Put a threat on the rook, and then get
You
a
don't put threat on any rook.
and then get a, well, not a threat, but I put threat on the queen, offer the queen trade, and then I have a passed pawn. But he's very undefended.
Okay, this pawn you will lose.
Yeah. So
Like it's already, but okay, it doesn't matter if you lose it because you anyway have a pawn up, so it's not.
right, it's kind of just
not
like
like that.
trading for trading because I'm up a pawn, and so let's go win the game now.
Exactly.
So that's kind of my thought. Trade when you're up. Okay, so she accepts my trade, and I will. So if I go here, she pushes, takes. So she just wins that. Okay, so that pawn's undefendable.
No, I mean we knew already, Alex, that you would. Lose.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
look.
was-
I mean, think like logical. In chess, it's like a football game.
Yep.
You have 8 players, 10 players. I don't even know. I mean, though it's getting now.
11.
But yeah,
11
10
players.
We have 10 players, let's imagine. I mean, okay, don't 11 players. Okay,
Okay.
good. I mean, chat is correcting me already. But I mean, obviously, all of them want to play.
Right.
So just get them out.
Yep. Okay, so I want to get my rooks connected. I'd also love to get my bishop on a diagonal. So maybe playing b6 and then getting my bishop to b7 is an idea. Then I have some threat on that pawn. I have a good diagonal, but the problem is my knight's under threat if I do that. So first, my knight needs to go somewhere. He doesn't really have a home right now. Boy. I can't go bishop to f6 because she can just play pawn to e5, guys, and then she wins that battle. I can't win it. So yeah, that just doesn't work, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would totally be eating up them juicy rooks. Let's see. Is there anything fun I can do? I can move my knight to d4, which is offering a knight trade. Gets my rook a little more active. And then...
1 second. What piece is not playing?
My a rook.
Yes, and why it's not playing?
Because my bishop is in the way.
Yes. I mean, why don't you solve that?
Well, I wanted to do the whole... This was part of that plan. I would go knight to d4, pawn to b6, bishop to b7, and then I've got a better diagonal.
With knight on d4, what other square are you weakening?
The e5 square, I guess.
C7 square you're weakening. And this 7th and the second rank, especially in endgames, are very sensitive ranks.
All right. Fair point.
Bishop f6, by the way, Timmy Payne is answered by e5, so it doesn't make much sense in some way. It's just losing a tempo.
Yeah.
I like bishop d7 most because, okay, you should, I mean, like now at least you have rook c8 coming and you can get your pieces out. And I mean, the bishop, of course, on d7 is not a great piece. You could, but you know, like that's what I meant. The bishops sometimes are behind the best. So even bishop e8 is a good move. You would activate the rook on d8 more.
Yeah.
But now at least with moving this bishop away from everything, you could give your rooks some air to breathe in a way.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and make that move.
Yes, very good, Alex.
Because it's met with that. That's why, Darth. So at this point, we both have both bishops. I guess a question I do have is, should I be aiming to be more on light or dark squares if I have, I mean, even kind of here. Like here, I feel like Getting all my pawns on light squares is better.
I mean, like, for example, like here, if you would have one wish granted, then, I mean, if I had a wish granted here, I would push e5 with black.
Right.
And get my bishop to e6, and I would be very happy and get the control of d4 square.
Right.
But this is currently not good because you're losing a pawn.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if we speak about squares and colors and stuff.
Okay, so I could play knight to a5 and protect
Very
and
good.
attack,
Absolutely.
and then open up the file.
Yes, because actually, whenever you are like in the turn of defense, the first aim you should have is to opt for the active defense with a counter attack rather than do the passive. I mean, b6 is also a good move here.
Sure.
But why to play b6 if you can answer this attack with an active counter attack?
Yep.
And basically, like stealing time from your opponent because now she has to react.
Yeah. Okay. So now there might be some ideas for my light square bishop to get involved in some way. I could play a6 with the idea of getting my light square bishop moving. I could also...
A6 is basically like giving squares of b6,
Right.
of the b6 square.
Right.
I mean, like, why you want like to push a6? You can play, if you want to activate your bishop, you can play bishop c6, for example. And
Yeah.
do something about that.
That's true.
You can even play bishop a4 if you want. I mean, it's not like you don't need a6. It doesn't
Right.
help you at all. It just weakens the square on b6.
I was kind of looking at a4 because then I have some more threat on that d1 square. Obviously, it's not a big deal right now, but I'm also looking at a flight square for my king, h6, and also that has low protection over some knight moving in over there. I kind of like that. I need to do it at some point.
No, h6 is a good move, and you have time here, so you're okay. I mean, you're okay to do though. I mean, for example, like if I was you, I would not have played h6, but f6, and I tell you why. First of all, with f6,
Whoa.
I would gain a square for my king closer to the center with f7,
True.
and I would have the chance to push e5 and bishop e6, gain space,
Interesting.
you know, and solve the issue of having a very weak back rank.
Yeah. Interesting. That's definitely a good idea. We're like almost to endgame, you know, so it's like maybe starting to prep for my king to be able to move isn't a bad idea. I'm just so used to naturally playing h6, you know, like...
No, but I mean, Alex, you're in an endgame. The queens are off the board,
Yeah.
and you will need your king.
Yeah.
Your king is a part of the endgame.
Oh, okay, so she wants to play that now.
Okay, but now, I mean, with e5, obviously she weakens the white squares.
Right. So now... I mean, I can bring my bishop and just threaten that knight if I want on c6. I can bring my rook to c2 if I really want. Get on that 7th rank. It's not a terrible idea. I have some potential, like, knight to c4 once I move my pawn to b5. So like pawn b5, knight c4.
I mean, like, why you want to push b5 and have the pawn on a shaky square if you can push b6 and have the pawn on a protected square? I mean, as a general kind of thing.
I was just looking at it from the way of... Oops, I didn't mean to make that move. Oopsies. I was looking at it from the way of having my knight to get to b4 and be defended and just be kind of like a nasty piece. And then if he takes it with the bishop, I take with pawn, and then I've got a pawn protected by a rook pushing down the board.
Well, I understand that, but the thing is like, okay, with b5, okay, first of all, it's a blunder, but this it's not about that. It's about the thing is like, you know, like what I would do when I'm in the end game, I will put my pieces in a stable position, and then I would start to maneuver.
Yeah. Well, it
And
would
then
have been a5 and then, or a4 and a6 and then b5 would have been the move.
a6, b5 is already like the better attempt in general.
Yeah, that was what I was.
You're absolutely safe. You're not attackable. Okay, bishop a6, but you can move the rook on plenty of squares.
Right.
And I mean, she played e5, so the square on d5 is weakened. So, I mean, just to understand my mindset, she plays e5. I immediately think of a bishop on d5 or a knight on d5. I mean,
yeah,
automatically, because, okay, I have the square suddenly. This
Yep.
square is good.
Yep.
Why not?
I guess the only question I would have is, how do I defend it? You know? Like, you know, I don't know. She can immediately just do whatever she wants on to d5, in my opinion. I don't really have a good defense of it.
Okay, now she puts her bishop on a kind of unprotected square, and you have this kind of opposition of the rook on d8.
Right.
I mean, currently you will not be able to exploit it, but in general, like whenever you do these kind of things, when you put a piece into some kind of opposition, even though it's not direct but still hidden, you have to, well, always calculate with tricks or tactics.
Yeah.
She's lucky that this move cannot be punished in a bad way, but yet you have to like develop a sense of not doing these things, because especially, and it doesn't mean to sound arrogant, in your level these things can really matter.
Yep.
One second, you're playing f6. Why?
To give her a nice space on g6 for her bishop.
Well, this is not like a good explanation why you're playing f6. You're playing f6 and you're basically like not gaining anything from f6. I mean, you think that the pawn on e5 is disturbing, but why it's disturbing you? I mean, like, it doesn't, we don't need f6 square, you don't need d6 square. Your bishop on e7 is doing a good job. It attacks a3. You can play rook c3 and attack a3. You play f6 and basically like you gain nothing from it.
Yeah, that's true.
Weaken your pawn structure. She takes on f6. h6 is weak. You cannot even take back with the g7 pawn, because the g7 pawn is protecting the h6 pawn. And I mean, f6 makes sense if you want to activate your king, but you don't need this now because you have a lot of targets, and the biggest target you have is a pawn on a3. You had rook c3, absolutely fantastic move.
Well, that's where I was gonna go with my first instinct, but then I thought against it. And I decided, let's go back to the old tactic you were talking about f6. But now that h6 is...
f6 before, I mean, you know, my idea was to play f6, and in case of e5, then you could have answered with f5.
Okay, so she wants to not play like that. So now I can still go target the a3 pawn. I can also... Yeah, I think that's my best move. That bishop doesn't really do a lot over there, I feel like. Okay.
I mean, that's a disadvantage. She takes on f6, you have to take back with a piece, and you create it, instead of having 2 islands, pawn islands, you have 3, which is already, like, in terms of general rules of the pawn structure, a problem. And you lost the square on e5. I mean, look what you got with this f6. You got basically just problems. You have a weak pawn on e6. She has an active knight on e5. You even changed your biggest trump card, which was a bishop hitting on a3. So that's why, I mean, like, f6 was not a good thing in general.
makes sense. Wasn't taking f3 with rook better? Takes,
Want to give the exchange?
and then she
Exchange giving, you don't do an endings unless you get material for it or some decisive kingside attack.
takes. I don't know. Then I'm down a rook.
Exchange probably because you take the knight against the rook, right?
Yeah. Okay, she wants to trade. That seems fine for me. I could also just double up, but then she pins me. And let's go. If I take here, she comes here. I move here. I move there, I guess. Oh wait, I can't go there. Let's just do here. It's kind of danger otherwise.
Yes, I mean you see that you already like got yourself into some problems.
I see zero problems, except some of the problems that I've got myself into.
Yes, you got into this. I mean, you have to be very careful now, actually, Alex. Very, very careful. I just give you this warning. I will not tell you the move, but I will give you the warning to better be careful now.
I guess she does that, so.
Oh boy, Bishop d3 it will be coming, Alex. And you, what you will do about the king? That's why I told you to be very careful. This was my hint for you. Yes, I mean, I would almost bet that Nicey is cheating if I know she wasn't, because she's playing it very well.
I mean, but if I don't know where else I go, though. I guess I just have to sack my bishop on g6 or something.
Not your bishop, you cannot sack anything. You have to play your pawn on g6 because otherwise you're mated. That's why I told you, like,
Right, I meant before. I guess, where did my bishop go before when...
You should have gone bishop g6 in
Bishop
order to close up the
g6.
diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just figured
taken,
knight
no problem.
takes, I takes, and then whatever stuff happens.
That's
and it's
fine, and your position is fine, but that's why I told you to be careful.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It's all right. We're all good. No threat whatsoever. Everything is great.
A gift for you.
Yeah. I mean, the funny part is like you outplayed her to some circumstances. I mean, to some moment. But then when it's coming to patience,
Thank you, Shreknet. No, she did a really good job taking advantage of my f6 push.
Okay, f6 push was absolutely unnecessary.
I would almost call it a blunder, but I'm instead going to call it a brilliant move because it's got some stuff that's still going to develop. We haven't seen it yet. It's a like 30 move line that I've been thinking of.
And you call your blunders brilliant moves. Maybe I should try this with Anushka and see what she will say.
Don't tell Anna.
So I mean, I always sell my moves as a kind of sacrifice, and well, maybe next time I will say like, according to Alex, whenever I do a mistake, it's a brilliant move. Maybe this is the one or the point to do it. Now we have a rook ending. This will be fun.
Yeah.
What?
Check.
But why you don't take the pawn?
That's a free pawn. I mean, you can take a free pawn, or you can check your opponent and make them feel bad.
Every patzer gives a check.
Every who gives a check?
Every patzer gives a check. You could have taken that pawn on a3.
Yeah, but that
and then
seems...
move with your two bunnies on b6 and a7.
I don't like it.
Oh boy.
Too easy.
Yes, I mean, like, you have to play it sophisticated. I got it, but I mean, sometimes to play it too sophisticated is maybe a bit too much. But Nice is playing well.
Gosh, she's such a cheat. She's so good. Okay.
H5, very good, Alex. You have to aim for squares. Brilliant move.
Thank you.
Now I'm proud for this moment. Very good move. H5, really, really good move. You got... Well, this is a real brilliancy. This is not like a sophisticated brilliancy. But now you have to be careful, Alex, of course.
Of course. Okay, so if we check her... Okay. Ooh. Interesting. Dang.
Well, you gotta be careful. Have you ever learned a basic rule about Rook endings?
Take, move, promote, and I'd lose, so I can't take.
Not taking, Alex.
Right, so if I go to c8, she pushes pawn.
Wait, Alex. General rule about rook endings. Rooks should be behind the pawns and not in front.
Right. So
what does it mean for you?
It means I just need to get in front of her pawn.
No, behind the pawns. c4 is a square. You should have gone rook c4 and rook g4. This way you keep active. If you go behind the pawns, you're passive. Look here, how much squares does your rook have? No squares.
Yeah, exactly.
If the rook was on g4, you had plenty of squares.
But now I can do this and I can get aggressive at her. So she has to...
Well, but with the rook on g4, you could have done the same and she would not even get with the king on e4 because you would have killed the fourth rank. You got the point, Alex.
No.
The rooks always should be behind the pawns and not in front. It's a golden endgame rule.
Okay, so I get behind... Oh, that was annoying.
Now you don't get behind anything because you're still in front of the pawns. Now it's a bit late, but I mean, in this moment, when you had the chance to hold the cheap pawn, you could have gone behind the pawns and not in front.
Yeah.
You made a draw.
That's a draw.
It's,
We have
I mean,
two
it may be
sides.
okay, maybe objectively it's a draw, objectively, but white can push.
Right, so that's why I took the draw.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why
gosh,
you
dang it.
offered it. He was
No.
charming.
Oh, crap. I accidentally played a different... I always do this. All right, well, now you get to watch me play someone else who is way higher rated than me. Oh, boy. Whoa. Aggressive.
Oh, she's playing gambits. Now I'm curious.
If I take knight... I mean, that's just... Then they push...
Actually, bishop takes c4, according to the theory, is the best move.
Interesting. I figure it's better to preserve my bishops for later, right?
Wait, with knight takes c4, you don't have the protection of e5. With pawn takes d4,
Oh.
5 for white. And that's why bishop takes d4, you have nothing but a pawn up. But okay, she has some kind of compensation because she has a bishop pair. Okay, she should have taken on e5, of course.
Yeah. So now I just come all the way back to b6. And now they gambit another pawn? No, because they can take it back.
Maybe, like, Alex, you should calm down with taking all the pawns. Because after knight takes e4, there's bishop takes f7 check. King takes f7 and queen d5 check. And you would lose a pawn and you would have a horrible king.
Hold on. After knight takes e4, there's what check?
Bishop takes f7, honey.
Bishop takes f7. And then I take with my king.
And I play queen d5 check.
And then you play queen d5 check. And then you win the knight back.
And your king is screwed.
Yeah, so maybe I just castle first. And then I do it.
And then at least it makes sense to do it. Exactly.
Okay, so now they want to get rid of this dark square bishop. So we'll just bring this dude back. What is happening? Huh. Okay, so if I push d5 now, I have no protection over my e5 pawn.
By the way, if you push t5, who cares about the e5 pawn if you're attacking the bishop, right?
Well, but if they take with their pawn, then I take with my queen, no
A
pawn.
gift for you.
Then you're right. There's still, who cares? Okay. Seems like the right move right now. And now I can even push the e5 pawn if I want for a little more defense, or I can defend it with e6 or d6, queen or bishop there, whichever I prefer. See what other moves. I could bring my knight to e4, trades, and then they're up a pawn.
Not good thought.
So, not a good thought.
I mean, like, knight e4 is plundering a pawn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's a bad move. Thank you, Jensen. Thank you, Shreknet. So I'm either moving my queen to defend this pawn, or I'm pushing this pawn.
You can even move your bishop to d6.
Or bishop to defend it, correct.
You get bishop already on the better diagonal and get your rook on e8 and the bishop wouldn't be disturbing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just don't know, like, I guess here, this is one of those tough positions where I go, would pushing the pawn be better? You know?
No, bishop d6 is good because okay, I mean, like anyway, you need this diagonal, and now okay, you see the problem obviously, but now already it's time to push a bit.
Yeah. So now I have to figure out what I want to push here, because my d5 pawn is under threat, and I have no defender.
Okay, I mean the d5 pawn is under threat.
Yes.
For now, but okay, you can do a counterattack, and for now, don't care about the
Right.
d5.
I can push e4.
Yes, it's a good move because now you have the bishop already on the diagonal. Plus, if you push e4, d5 is not hanging anymore because you have bishop takes h2. You understand? Suddenly you have more tactical abilities. And you have the square on e5 as well.
Wait, bishop takes h2.
I mean, no, bishop takes h2 in case of bishop takes d5.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. I get what you're saying. Okay, so now I'm probably playing h6 to just force this bishop to take. And then, but then I would be taking with my pawn, because then the d5 is actually hanging, but pawn takes is dangerous to my king side. Ooh. Maybe I bring my rook to e5.
Interesting.
That's kind of an interesting move.
Yeah. Rook e5 is okay.
Yeah.
What else you have to take care of the pawn on d5?
I could use my bishop to e6.
Also possible, yes.
So.
But why do you give the bishops pair now? I mean, you can play also bishop e5.
Right.
So the queen would have a defense on d5, and you would protect the knight on f6 in a better way as well.
Wait, I could play what? Bishop to e5. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. That's super interesting. I could also play bishop to g4 and threaten his queen, which is an idea. And then I've got rook on the queen, so if he pushes anything, then I can take with the pawn, and then I open up a threat on him. What do you think about that? Focused. Liz. Hello? What do you think about bishop to g4?
Bishop to g4. Well, to be honest, I think it's a blunder.
Whoa, really?
I mean, the knight on f6 is pinned. So after bishop g4, I have two candidates. Bishop takes f6 and queen takes g4. I mean, the easiest way is...
Bishop takes f6?
Bishop takes f6, bishop takes e2, bishop takes d8, bishop takes f1. You may get away with that, actually, in a good way.
Yeah, I think that would work out in my favor, right?
What happens in case of queen takes g4?
Then I take with the knight, they take with the bishop, and I win a free bishop.
No, I mean, I got the piece as well.
How do you get that piece?
No, I mean, after knight g4, after bishop g4, I take with the queen on g4.
Yes, so and then I take with the knight. Oh yeah, you have a piece.
I take the bishop. I mean, I mean, bishop g4 is actually not even a blunder. You're right about that. It's not a
trade.
Blunder.
It's just a trade.
Right, it's a trade basically.
This is a better move because I also put threat on c3.
I like this move most because okay, first of all, I protect d5, I protect 6, and I want to play even maybe queen d6, and maybe at some point I could take on d4 and aim for a good pawn structure. Absolutely right.
Yeah, this is definitely the best move. This does like 5 things at the same time. Bishop takes h2 YOLO. I like that strat too. Okay.
I mean, the idea is good of bishop takes h2, knight g4 check, but as long as the queen on e2 is protecting it and my queen on d8 is hanging, it doesn't work.
Right. So now my rook's under threat. So we could do bishop to d7 if I want.
One good option and the other one?
Rook to e6 to add another defender to the f6.
No, to e7. To e6 you blunder with knight takes.
Oh, there's a
e6.
knight. Yeah, so
Yeah.
e7. Yeah.
Yes, both moves are fine actually.
I kind of
But
like the bishop because
yes, I also said like it's good because okay, the pawns are anyway on white,
right.
and that's why this bishop.
Yep. Okay, so now he's starting to get a little nasty, aggressive towards us there. So, thoughts are I can bring my rook to c8, get him active, get him threatening a square here. My queen is opposite, though, which isn't always super fun. I can play queen to c7, which threatens both h2 and c3 at the same time. That's kind of an interesting move.
This I like.
I like that move a lot. Let's do a double threat.
Yeah, very good, Alex.
Okay. This is a blunder by my opponent.
Well, yes, it is. And actually now we have a luxury problem.
Oh, jeez. I have so many things I can do here. So I guess the first thing is I can take on f3. Yeah, he just resigns.
You didn't even play nice here?
No, this was a random 1438 player.
Okay. I didn't even understand because okay, probably now I understand because nice here would have played it much better.
Yeah, exactly. See, nice here, you're better than 1438. Yeah, okay, so I still want to look at this position. So in this position, if I take on f3, they physically just...
I will go back. I will go back just to understand it.
Okay. If I take on f3 with my pawn, they're like in this really weird position now.
You mean like in this game or in another game?
In the game that you're looking at right here.
If you now take on f3, you mean?
Yeah, so I take on f3 right now, and now they have to move their queen, and then I can take again. Like, I have so many...
Why do you want to take on f3 and improve basically white's position in a way that you... I mean, the pawn on e4 is an intruder, which means the pawn on e4 is in the white's camp.
Right.
That means, by logic, it takes space from white.
Yes.
So before I exchange an intruder, I will ask myself, do I have to exchange this intruder? And the question is no, because I can do a lot of other things. I have a luxury problem. I can take on h2.
Yes.
Or I can take on c3.
Yes.
And what do you think? What of these two pawns is more sensitive?
I would rather take on c3 right now because then I have a threat on d4.
Of course, the pawn on c3 is a much more important pawn over the pawn on the rim. I mean, They always say like if you exchange or trade pawns, then if you exchange a central pawn with a rim pawn, obviously the central pawn makes more sense. This is a very good example even to prove it. Because if you take c3, you take the source of d4 and b4. And everything is breaking apart and collapsing.
Yep.
Taking on s3, why? You don't have to do this now. It doesn't help you in any way.
Well, it opens up the line against the queen, right? So, like, they physically have nothing to do except move their queen out of the way. Right?
Yeah.
I take on f3, all they can do is move their queen somewhere, and then I take on g2, and now I've opened up the king, like, in a massive way. And so I feel like my intruder pawn has, like, done enough to earn his pay, you know?
Yeah. Okay, bishop takes h2 is a tactical move, but obviously the pawn on c3 is very...
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I just think takes here. They have to move their queen somewhere. So let's say they go, like, here. And then I get another take. And then, you know, they can take back. But, like, now they've just completely exposed their king. And now I still have this move.
I mean, in general, like just keep as a rule, whenever you have a piece or pawn in your opponent's camp, which means, I mean, you are black, your camp is the 8th to the 5th rank, and white's camp is the 1st to the 4th rank.
Right.
Whenever you have a piece into your opponent's camp, it usually means automatically you have space. With pawns anyway, but also with any other piece you have more space because you take certain squares from your opponent. So when you have this kind of piece in your opponent's camp, the general rule, not like, I mean, you know, every rule has an exception. Then if I don't need to exchange this piece, then I don't do it because I want to basically like limit my opponent's flexibility because
Right.
I got an intruder in his camp. The intruder, especially when it has a very nice outpost or is protected, wonderful because it can mean everything.
Yeah. You're right.
I will give you some good examples. Maybe in our next stream, I will like do some educational stuff with you, and you will understand what I mean because these intruders actually are terrible in a way because they will just be, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. He can't take here because then I can just do this. And then his queen's dead. Right. So he has to move his queen, but the problem is he can take queen takes f3, and then he's defending c3 now. So I still get this right here, but then, you know, we're in this spot. Yeah, I didn't get invited to PogChamps 2. That's why. I was too strong for PogChamps 2. They said.
The thing is like this PogChamps too. I mean, like, okay, I mean, chess.com is using their like streamers with at least 200, 300,000 followers.
Oops. Yep. I only have 100,000 followers, so not enough. Gotta get more followers. So hit that follow button, chat. There you go. To get us into PogChamps 19.
You need only 100,000 more to participate.
Niceer is offline. Niceer, did you leave?
I don't know where Niceer is actually. I didn't see her.
Rip.
Anyway, I mean, like, you got 100,000 followers. I got 4,000 followers, so I'm still far away from these kind of followers. Well, I don't think
I was at 4,000 just a little bit ago. You know, it's you'll get there.
How long did you need it to get this number? How much years are you on Twitch?
5 years.
Okay, I mean, like, I'm on Twitch since 4 months. So you think like 4,000 is good?
Yeah, that's more than I had at 4 months.
I mean, I can't even judge it. I'm absolutely like a beginner. I don't even know what emotes are, and I mean, I'm happy if I slowly learn all these kind of functions, but I'm still like in a way a bloody beginner. So that's why I'm just asking.
Gotcha. All right, Niceer is not here. Let's go. Let's do the crazy again. What are emotes? Ooh.
No, I mean, I know what are emotes, but sometimes some people gift you emotes, and I don't know what it means to get emotes gifted because, okay, maybe I can use some then, but I don't even know what it means in a okay. Before I keep talking, it's getting just embarrassing. So
if I push here. Intruder.
Yes, actually the b5 is a very good move because you prevent knight c6, and this is an intruder usually like black or like your opponent shouldn't allow.
Yeah. Haha. Maybe I should have just played d4 and just taken the center.
Yes, also good.
Maybe that's our next move. Okay. Okay.
A gift for you.
2 to the power of 5 months. This number makes my nerd brain happy.
When in doubt, push pawns. That's what I've always been taught. Let's go. Let's get our knight developed. Okay. I don't care about that, actually, at all. Do I want to keep pushing pawns in the middle?
You want to develop your king and get your king into
All
safety.
right, all right. We'll do
need
safety
to
for
plan
the
that.
king. Yay. Always with the king safety. My goodness. How do you live, you know? You got to have fun, right? Okay, is there any crazy tactics here? I mean, what if I just push d5 and then just like block everything up?
D5 actually is in some way an anti-positional move because you would give the square on C5 and the square on E5. But on the other hand, it could be interesting in terms of E6 square. But then I would suggest to you, you first change the bishops, bishop D3 with bishop C8, before you get into D5.
Bishop c3? What?
No, the bishop on D3 with the bishop on C8. Once you change these guys, then D5 and knight D4 would be much stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Just weak. I mean, after D5, I would play knight D7, knight C5, and I would get the square. But I mean, as I said, Alex, king safety. I mean, in case you would ever play the POC championships on Twitch, I give you a warning, I will be much more strict.
That's fair.
And I will like complain in German, and this is a threat.
That is fair. I don't want you to complain in German. That's my biggest nightmare.
I'm sure some people are horrified when they listen to German.
Okay. Is there any squares that I'm super interested in right now? I suppose knight to d5 is pretty interesting.
It is.
Seems like a pretty good outpost and place to exist. Okay, forces a little bit of pawn pushy.
Yeah, but it creates weaknesses, so it's
exactly. Exactly. So now I can play knight to f4, and we can threaten that pawn. And then if he pushes again, then we go back. Ah, a little defender. Okay. So now let's bring our rook and go opposite of the queen.
I mean, I love when you play logical and simple moves.
I hate it. Ugh. Logical, simple moves.
Yes, this is like what I like the most.
Gross. So gross. So I kind of want to play bishop to a3 and put threat on the d6 pawn. Yes, it gives them a little take, but I think it's a fun threat.
I mean, this taking on b5 doesn't harm you because d4 and e4 pawns are protecting all the central squares.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Alex, now, this period, you're playing like a grandmaster, and I'm not joking.
Aw, thank you.
But the thing is, like, the moment you neglect your king and pushing and leaving all the other guys behind, you're playing like a harakiri Japanese, right?
That's true. Okay, so now I have to figure out how I want to put an additional pressure piece.
I mean, which piece is not playing yet?
My A-Rook.
And what else? The A-Rook, by the way, is playing. It's on the A file. It's playing.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's playing.
There's one piece which is not playing.
My queen.
Absolutely.
So I'm either going queen to b3, queen to
very
e2.
Good thought. Very good thought.
Okay.
Queen b3 indirectly shining on e6, getting the opposition with the king on g8. I mean, trust your first intuition always.
Okay, so they're going to force us back or around. So I could go to h5 and threaten a bishop trade and also threaten f6 at the same time.
Okay, G5. I mean, like, where you want? What was your thought? Sorry, I didn't.
H5.
Very good.
So they can't do anything anymore against that. And that now is just a kind of a nice knight, even though he's on the rim. I like him over there. So now if I push d5, I do open up too many squares still for his knight. I can trade on whichever ones.
I mean, look, Alex, you don't push d5.
Yeah, it's not a good
Very
move.
important central squares e5 and c5. You don't do that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Part of me likes, let's see. Yeah, I mean d4 has to remain. So I'm either pushing my pawns on my king side.
You don't.
G4, but I don't like that. So my first thought was bishop to b3 or b4. Getting the rook opened up, the bishop in a line. Yeah.
That's good. You're forcing the decision whether she plays a5 or not. Very good.
Okay, so they make that decision. So now I guess I just pull my bishop back and keep that same line.
Now you don't need the rook on a1 anymore, so you can put it somewhere else.
Exactly my thoughts. So now, whoa.
f5 is super risky because, okay, the rook on the e1 is in the opposition with the queen on e8.
Right. So I can just take, right? Like, I just take with f5.
Trust your intuition, Alex.
My intuition is take the pawn. They can't take it back.
Absolutely right.
I don't know what that thought was. Okay. So I guess that's their thought. And then they've got kind of this line and a double attack on my D pawn. So they wanted to really open d4 up. So let's see. If I take with the D pawn, they take with their pawn.
Wait.
Or they have a bunch of knights. They would just take with a knight.
I mean, the thing is, like, she will not take with the D pawn because she would blunder her rook on f8.
She would blunder her rook on f8. Oh yeah, that's right.
Is tiny.
Yeah, that's true. Man, this is complicated. There's so many pieces under threat right now.
I mean, this is a position I love because it's messy.
So they would take with their knight. I would have check potential by moving my C pawn up if they take with that knight. So they would take with their D knight. And then
what is your intuition here? If you had 1 second to choose the move and you had to play.
Well, my intuition is I can't push the pawn. I have to take. Because if I have to take it. Yeah, that's I have nothing else. Hold on, let me switch out my headset.
I mean, like sometimes.
Hold on. I don't have my headset on. Yeah, I mean, I know that I can't push d5 because then I'm in some nasty position. Okay, so they do a trade of that. Your default speaker is changed and will now be used. Did I not?
Okay, here's a very strong
I can't hear
move.
you still. Hold on. Did the battery not charge properly? Oh, there it is. Okay. So now, I mean, I have to take. I probably had some other move like take a pawn on d6 and open up that line.
There were some other alternatives, but it's fine the way you play.
Yeah. Okay, so now my bishop has a little bit of threat coming at it. Obviously, their bishop is still lining up on my rook, which isn't super fun. Now
the position is very complicated and you have to be careful.
Yeah, I think e6 was better as well, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm not sure about that, but... You have to find one move, in my opinion. It's very important.
So the moves that I'm looking at, Obviously, they have a check on f3 with a fork.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to probably play my bishop to e4, and then I'm threatening their rook, and then also protecting that pawn.
What is the problem?
The problem if I do that is that they can still take it.
No, they take the knight on h5.
Oh gosh, my knight's under threat. Oh
That's
Lord.
why I tell you, this position, unfortunately, I have only one move. Only one.
Oh my God.
You have only one move, which is getting you out of trouble. And you know,
And
like,
that's rook takes knight.
wait. What did I tell you about calculation? What you should check first?
I can play my pawn c5 up, which creates a check.
And which closes the diagonal of e8, h5 automatically, because something must wander to f7. And you solve your problems.
Wait, what?
Look, queen takes h5 is a threat. After you give a check, the check has to be answered with something on f7. If something on f7 appears,
Right.
you don't have hanging knight on h5. Simple.
Oh, right, yes. Okay, so now I trade the queens.
You have to trade the queens, but
Got it.
and now you take your bishop on an attacking square, which you had beforehand, and everything is fine. You see, and you're winning. Because rook on a8 is hanging, and you have another threat, bishop d5. And when you go about calculation, I tell you what you should calculate, you would select checks and captures, and you had only the check with c5. And you see, life gets easy.
I guess they can still just take with a check, though. But then they lose. No, yeah. Okay, so...
Now you should be careful, of course. He's pushing a threat. But I mean, you have a pawn on c5, which can do a lot of nice things. You don't... The bishop on d5 is stronger than the rook on f7 because the bishop on d5 is a monster. So if I was you, I would just like take the c5 pawn and do something about it.
I mean, the c5 pawn.
Or
Like,
it's hanging.
I mean, aren't I still in threat of just getting forked right here?
No, knight takes f3, bishop takes f3. What is it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just take your c5 pawn and be Forrest Gump and run. Exactly.
Yeah, I forgot my bishop is protecting it.
I mean, I would have probably played c takes d6 is stronger because you take a pawn as well, but c6 is fine.
I guess my thought is they would be trading...
I mean, he has knight c5, obviously. And that's why, I mean, like, the d6 pawn is not hanging. That's why I like c takes d6 more.
Okay, so now I probably just trade this bishop off because he's doing nothing.
I mean, the bishop on a3, yes, but the bishop on d5 stays where it is.
Yeah, not the d5 bishop, the a3 bishop. I need to get my a rook doing something. So let's
The knight on the rim is dim. Well, you should have done like something to protect f5 pawn, but okay, it's fine. I wanted to play knight g3 instead.
f5 pawn. Oh, it's under threat. Oh, dang.
Yeah, it is under threat, yeah.
Dang.
Okay, anyway, get the knight from the rim back. Quickly.
Yes.
You better be like, do you have any kind of increment in this game? No! King f1, come on, quickly. Oh, you're still winning.
Oh my god.
Rook. No, c7. Oh boy.
c7? What?
c7, you would have queened.
Oh.
Don't play automatic.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
Oh, I can't go there.
Knight e3, knight e5. Come on, Alex. Or knight c4 even. Okay, knight c4. But this is already not easy now. Okay, now get your king in the game. This is not winning anymore. You had such a good chance. f3. Yes, very good.
Now we just do some zigzag
Knight
stuff.
a3, knight a3. Just play this.
Yep.
I mean, this is a draw now. Unless he doesn't want that, but you can't win anymore. You had the winning.
No.
No, king e3. Don't let the king to f4. Oh boy.
Oh.
No, okay, now. Okay, he's playing ambitious. King d3. Or maybe not. Oh, it's okay. He's playing for a win, actually. That's a funny part. Yeah.
Ah, crap.
Well, knight c2 and knight d4 check you have to do.
Yeah.
Maybe he's greedy. Yes, knight d4 check. Now you have it. Okay, but his king is very good. Let me think. Knight e6.
Yeah, I was thinking knight e6.
Okay, knight e6. If he, well, you can try, but actually, like your, wait, c7, take, this. He can take on c7. This is a problem. Yeah, you were winning. Now you are losing, unfortunately. I can't even help you out of this.
What if I just take on g5?
Then he will queen.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I can play knight d4, knight. Well, this. No, you can't. Nothing you can do. Now take on b6 and play knight c4 check. I mean, what you can do, but okay. Oh boy, it was so winning. Even I can't trick the guy.
Run pawn.
Lauf, Forrest, lauf! There's no trick, unfortunately.
We'll find one.
Knight e4, come on. Go for g5. King d2.
Yeah.
And don't do anything before I tell you. b7. Play b7, please. Okay, king d3. Of course you are lost. It's not like that you have a chance here.
We have a chance.
No, we don't have a chance. You take on g5. I mean, you're lost, of course. But I'm still hoping.
Always a chance.
Knight e4. Oh, Anushka is here.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, but she came in a bad moment. Yes, we are training with playing with the queen down. Nicaea was there. I'm not sure she's back. Now we have to stalemate, Alex. I'm not sure how, but you will find a way.
We got this.
Thanks, as Roy, for the tier sub. Oh boy. Okay, Alex, you should resign. I mean, this is...
Oh, yeah.
No. Actually, like we were resigning too early. With King A7, we had a good chance that he would stalemate with queening on A1, H1. It was a stalemate. Jesus.
Well, you told me to resign.
Yeah, but okay, maybe I was telling it premature.
You said it. I was going to go all the way to the end and go for the stalemate on A7. But you said
It's
no.
very hard for me getting out of my skin for the politeness of it.
Okay. All that just to not stalemate. Oh, man. We were so winning in that game.
Well, I mean, like you just automatically took on E1 when there was C7, you know? Like, I just imagine you would have played the poke jams and they would immediately automatically capture back on E1 and I would have just like had a heart attack. A real heart attack. So Alex, anyway, I think I will slowly move because I should somehow get my second phone installed and see if I got some hysterical calls.
Oh, man.
Anna, I'm not hiding my trainings, actually. I was trying to get Alex a little less aggressive.
Okay, so I missed that. So then we have this draw. So how do we fail this draw? Ooh, knight A3 is actually the blunder.
No, I mean, like, if you hadn't captured only one and played C7, we would have won the game immediately.
Well, yeah. But then, I guess in this position, we just dance with the kings. Oh, everything's over. Oh, boy. GG. Okay, you said you're going to go now?
I will go slowly because, okay, I should get somehow my second phone now. I got the second phone to get it installed and see if someone wants to kill me already or not.
Well, good luck. Yeah, GG. I will
probably next week I will speak to Anna maybe to make a joint stream again. We'll see.
Sounds good. Thank you, Liz.
Welcome and have a nice evening. I just have to give a rate to someone, but I'm not sure who's online. You will stay online or not?
For a little bit.
Yeah,
So
I'll then give the rate to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the coaching. That was great. Everybody go check out Liz. There's a llama shout.
Next week, I think. Maybe by Tuesday, because Monday I'm traveling.
Okay. Sounds good. Sorry for arguing with you.
We're not arguing.
Oh my god, what the heck is this opening? Jeez.
Play C6.
C6. That was my initial intuition. So
Play C6, then you will be fine. And trust always. I mean, Alex, you have a great intuition. Trust it more.
Did you say play D6? Wait, what?
C6. It's absolutely fine.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
You should trust it more.
Thank you.
Intuition, will help you to guide you.
Thank you. Okay. I guess let's develop pieces now.
Okay, I will log off. Have a nice evening and good luck with your games.
Bye. Thank you, Liz. Bye. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, from Liz's channel. Wait. Did I move that pawn? Oh, son of a gun. I meant to move my knight first and then the pawn. It's annoying. Hi, Anna. Oh, God. She got to miss a nice blunder, thankfully. Bye, Liz. Have a good one. Ugh, free pawn. I literally walked the pawn into it too, you know? Take a sip of wine every time Alex blunders. All right, all right. It happened one time. One time. I take chess too seriously. I have a very serious chess coach. I have to take it seriously. Uh-oh, Paehtz is in here. Hi, Andrea. How are you doing today? Why is the sound not... Can I add you on Discord? Sure. Pending... What's your name? Did you add me? Is Papa Paehtz here? Hi, Papa Paehtz. How about some trivia tomorrow? What time tomorrow? I'm doing some stuff with Jesse and Rebecca tomorrow. But, I mean, I'll have some time available. Is this an idea? I mean, that just gets a free development, it feels like, for the night. Okay, yeah. Just whisper me, and then I'll get you added. Gosh, I have no clue how I want to, like, do anything here. My light square bishop probably needs some development. Let's just develop our rook 1 square. Okay. Now we have some crazy take ideas. Take. Captures. I also have this idea. I don't know what this does, but maybe something. Alright. That's really annoying that the sound is not... Let me go to my properties. Headphones. Alright. Let me replay that. No! You stupid sound. What is wrong with my sound? Okay, and then the sound, and then the properties. Yeah, it's coming out of my speakers. There we go. All right.
Time, no llama.
Thank you, Be My Cat. Thank you. That's right. Okay. Oh, it's my move. So he just castled, which is like whatever. Who cares? Maybe just moving the bishop. I could also like threat the pawn right here and force some weird stuff. I can do some stuff on this side. Yeah, I could move this pawn and then like keep going crazy with the pawn. But I need this rook over here. That would probably help it a lot. Otherwise, he just takes it and then I just lose the pawn. My queen, I should probably get here. That's what I need to do. Now we just create a threat on h2. You've thwarted my plans. Ugh, the worst. But now I can do this. And threaten his bishop. I mean, obviously, he knows. He's a 1579. Is taking here a good idea? I mean, I've got a lot of bishop stuff. I should get this bishop out first. So let's get this bishop here. And now we've got a couple weird lines of some things happening. Okay, so he eyes up on me. So now I kind of like taking here, because if he takes here, I mean, I guess I can take back with the bishop. I can also play queen c8, and then we can do that trade, which is always a thing. Okay, Botez live. Perfect. How are you doing today? Friends, add friend. Okay, request sent. So, yeah, you just right click and mark arrows. You have to change it in your settings though to do it. Time wise. So we still have this idea, trading this off, getting my queen over here. I don't know if that does them a bunch. I can take right here, and that opens up this file. They would take back this way, though. Takes. That doesn't work. Takes.
Join my army of the dead.
Intuition.
The only difference between llama and respectable chess streamers is their
I
language.
guess this is actually a huge
Llama,
threat right
I need
now.
to get my bishop and my horsey out. Respectable streamer, it's time to develop.
Huge threat. I just saw it. Just saw that bad boy right there. Probably just move my king over to h8, to be honest. But let's see. Bishop to b4? What does that do, though? Oh, the queen. We have a free pin. Good call. I was going to get there eventually. I was honestly just going to move my bishop right here and just check. But, okay, so now I just win a free knight. Let's see. They've got some threats here, though. But it's not quite threatening yet. So maybe my rook, and then I threaten a bishop and a queen. I think the rook is actually way better. And now this game is just completely lost for them. Until they checkmate me because I'm not good at this game. But besides that, it's completely lost. Is there any threats we can put or defenses? I could just bring my rook over. But then, I mean, honestly, that's not terrible. I can also bring my queen here. Let's just do this. Okay. That move doesn't do a lot. Let's go queen to something. Bishop. Oh God, what move? I don't know. I'm just moving pieces now. Probably would have been better with the bishop there, honestly. And then just do this. I am not a smart man. Okay. That's somehow under threat. Uh-huh. And I can't take there. Go here. I've created the Holy Trinity. And my Knight King thing, dude. You know what they say. Rook's on the 7th, our 7th. It's not what they say. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. Force a bishop trade. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. Uh-huh. You're gonna check me? No, you're not. Interesting. Oh, God. Okay. And, here. Oh, boy. I can't see. I'm out of time. GG. I just ran out of time. I had nothing to do. GG. I should have played faster way earlier. That was my issue. GG Unmask. That was I have no clue what the heck that opening was. I mean, I'm happy with it. I don't mind losing on time. I thought it was 10-5 and then it wasn't. Okay. That feels like a blunder already. Just maybe I should just do this stuff and just like, should I go like this right now? Takes. No. Okay, they just don't want this move, but let's just screw it. Let's go. Let's go. Check. Take. Check. Back. Can't capture still. Check. If there, takes. If there, trades. I'm down a bishop though. Maybe we just hold it. Let's just threaten a mate instead. So that's the only move they have. So now we castle. Okay. And now probably just fall back. I mean, I could go here, but then they play that. And then what? I could also trade. Sack it all. So I'm probably just dropping to here. Protect our pawn. Okay. I'm just gonna bring my rook and start pushing this bad boy. Okay. So he wants to be aggressive and take my bishop out. So I guess now we just come here. Interesting. Guy really hated my bishop. He moved his knight 6 times to get rid of my bishop and let me develop some pieces. Not letting him exchange it was a valid option? Well, I didn't have a choice right there. Because he was also hitting my queen, so... I kind of want to, like, fianchetto this. Because, I mean, I don't know where else this bishop is going except blocking stuff. I also just want to move my knight into this square immediately. Because he's now good here. I mean, I guess bishop here eventually is a thought. I could also come here and put some threat on this pawn. We can have a pawn move. Okay, so he wants to play this. Or this, one of the two. I feel like there's some crazy weird mating tactic here. But we'll do this for now. Let's see if he goes bishop or pawn. Regardless, I feel really nice about it. He will go bishop, so we have one move. And now we're actually adding even more stuff here. And we have a threat on this pawn if he moves this bishop, which this bishop's not really in a great position right now, so that's really nice, actually. If he moves his bishop there, I mean, I can take it, but I'd rather just take this, I guess, and put a threat. So he's in a wonky position. This pawn can also now push and start to really do some damage. That's just like nasty. I would take this position 10 out of 10 times right now. There's probably some losing stuff. Oh, he is going to move it. Okay. And now this is truly getting nasty. Yep, that's his only move, really. I have another pawn I can take. I can take it with the bishop if I want. I could even just push this pawn and just create even more disgustingness right now. Which is kind of what I want to do right now. Okay, so I just take with a free check. There's definitely a mate here. Like, every move is winning. First I'm going to take with check. Because that seems really nice. And now, what, you going to go there with your king? That seems like the logical move. Like, obviously, bringing anything in front, it isn't the right move. So he goes there. So now, unfortunately, my knight check squares aren't good. Rook here just drops the rook. Knight b6 just drops it to the queen. And then I don't have any, like, checks after that. So I think just trading this is honestly the best way to go right now. And then I can do a rook check after that. Exactly. Okay, so now we do rook check. The pawn is hanging, but then I've got some queen. That just seems too dangerous. Yeah. Okay. So now we do have this check here. We also have... I can just move the knight right here. And then it's all defended. I can also move my rook right here for a check, and all he can do is king over. I can also push this pawn for a check. Then his king still has to go over. So pawn d7. I'm gonna do this, then we have some weird threat stuff. Queen e5 is also an option. I guess this is still hanging here. But yeah, it technically is, because even there he can take like that. I can still get back ranked as well, which is a pretty big concern. So I need to be really careful right now. God, where is the mate? Okay, all my stuff is defended. I almost want to like take a second right now to just like chill. I could also go here takes. Check. Takes. No, because he can move his rook back. I'm going to get safety. C3? What? What does C3 do? Knight C3. Oh. Yeah, that had protection, but I did not want to get back ranked at all. So. But that also opens up some threats over here. Man, I definitely threw this away. I know I had a mating position when I had a couple more pieces in there. I think pushing that pawn was the right move, to be honest. Could have also come back here, I suppose, which might have been a better move. But I do have some, like, weird threats here. Obviously, this is a threat right now. Go for the check. Yeah, but then I don't know where I was going to go after that. I mean, I can do this first, right? Takes. Wait, this is just mate. Is it not? What am I missing? Oh. I'm not crazy, right? And then queen takes and it's mate. Whoo! Holy cow, what a game. All right, let me go pee. That was insane. Man. What a game. I could not find the earlier mate. Like, I guarantee you there was one, and I just... Okay. So, yes. It didn't like that. It liked getting my queen out of the way, probably so I could protect my bishop, which makes sense, because then I have to do this. It likes the pawn push already instead of bringing the bishop out. And again, instead of developing even. Okay, then he blundered all that stuff. What? It likes pushing that pawn instead of taking? I mean, it says both are good, but... No way. Rook sack right now? And if he takes here... Takes... Queen takes... Oh, I guess he doesn't even have to queen take it. What if just like king take? Oh, he can't. Mate in 6. The heck is this? I mean, I could literally take his queen. So, okay, let's say he goes here. Check. King has 1 square. And mate? What the heck? Okay, let's say he goes here. No, that's just a free fork. Let's say he goes here. He literally has nowhere to go. Because if he does that, then he can come here. But then that's also a mate. Oh my god. So taking was actually my mate. Oh, I should have done this way. That's what I wanted to do. Then he can run, but then we can push and do some weird threat. Wait. Oh, yeah, because he can't take because I've got this. Let's say he takes like this, though. Oh, and then I get a free rook out of it. Woo! Yeah, so let's go to where we were. I mean, this is where I said I didn't know how to convert my huge advantage, but then I did. So let's say he plays here. I mean, I'm still just taking. And what, taking? No. What? Oh, because I lose that thing. So I would need to go here with a check. And then I could take... Got it. Yep. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I knew I could still blunder that away and just, like, lose on the back rank. It's our first time at 1300, everybody! We did it! Oh... We made it to 1300. I've been 1299, 1298, 1297 so many times. And I never got to stupid 13. Now only 700 more to go. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Liz helped me during games. Those were unrated games. Okay. I almost want to like take, bring this bishop out. Just kind of have some like threats going on here. Also, I'm loving that dude's idea for the future. Go ahead and go there. You're close to 2,000? What? I am not at all close to 2,000, but thank you. It's very sweet. Okay, let's develop our pieces. I want to be close to 2,000. You usually got to be careful with getting that bishop out after playing c5, but only if his queen can go to b3 or a4. Yeah. He didn't have any like good checking stuff And I mean, I could have brought my knight here. I guess you're saying... I don't know. It still seems like whatever. Okay, so this is probably just being traded, I imagine. I could bring this back right here. This is always something that I do wonder about. Like, he can jump into this nasty square. I'm going to get this to kind of do a little defense on that square. And then I guess I'm good to trade these bishops if he wants. I guess that's my thoughts. Force him to play h3. Exactly. This take might also make sense eventually. Especially now that I can line up like this. I'm going to castle. Okay. So now I can play my queen here. I can take first. Can also just develop my queen. She's not doing anything. And now we've got this threat once I take here. So this also kind of says push that. Okay, so he is going to go ahead and take that. Okay, so we'll do this. Thank you, Psycode. Would I play against viewers? Here and there. Right now I'm trying to like gain some rating. Ah, dang it. He has this same... This happened last time. That's why I don't want to bring my queen to c7. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, so... I can keep the pin, or I can make this trade. Yeah, queen e7 would have been better. I think trading is right. I agree. I mean, I'm pretty light square heavy. So... Okay, he wants to take that way. So now I could move... No, that's just giving a free piece away. So now let's get... I guess bring our bishop back or bring our queen over. Probably our... I also have this. That looks really nice. And then, yeah, I like this idea. He doesn't have a deep pawn to bully me anymore with. I can also get rooks opposite of his queen. Yeah, the trade there is one of those where, like, I definitely would have questions. Okay. So if he takes, this is a win for us. Did you miss the coaching? Yeah, now we're just playing the bolizzi, as they call it in my country. Okay, so he's going to take this and double me. I'm not sure I have anywhere really good to go with my knight, though. So maybe I just get doubled. I can always do this. So I can take this way. It's kind of an interesting idea. It does free up this square, but I've got double on it. But I mean, I actually want to open this file up. So, I mean, I'm probably fine with it. Yeah, it's a doubled pawn a little bit, but we can play f5 later. Yeah, that it weakens here as well. I don't know if I like it. I kind of want to play a waiting move. Okay. Whoa. Interesting move. And then he's got... Could just bring this knight back. If I take the pawn, he just takes my knight. Yep. I think I'm going to move my queen here or here. Maybe I like this spot better. Keep my rook on this file. That's just a blunder on his part, right? That's a massive blunder, because now he's got 3 pieces being hit. I guess queen c3 is the thought. So then I just take the bishop and then he doesn't have it anymore. Yeah, so that's just a massive blunder. Okay. If I just take this, then he takes, but then we open the file up. Rook had more value. If I take the rook, I just get mated. So I had to take like that. Okay. I want to get my queen like to safety somewhere, but there's not really any safety anywhere. I could go right here because he can't even do this. Could also just move back, or I can move over here. We'll do this. Just play safe. I'm running low on time. Not a huge fan of that. But I'm up a piece right now. Which is the good news. The bad news is I'm not really sure what else I want to play. Okay. Let's just go here. Sure, Sing, but I'm not that fast. Hard to crack 2000 when not starting at a young age. I know, every single chess player started at like ridiculous times. Okay. I guess this is my only real move. Okay, going for the mate. Let's just play like this, I guess. That has weaknesses. Oh, which one? Which one do I move? G-pawn opens weaknesses. This stops dark square stuff, but also protects against this, which is kind of what I want to do. And also blocks on this square. Okay. So that knight is hitting here, 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 here. So obviously this pawn is preventing it from going here. Other places don't matter as much. I could just trade. Honestly, I should probably just trade. I'm up pieces. I'm up a piece, and also I have a fork idea here if he does take. Oh, no, he's taking with his pawn. But then I could even do... No, because he can take with this right here. So now I guess push this pawn. Since I no longer have those threats. So this dude is under threat. And I don't have a safety square for him. So let's just do this instead. And now he's totally fine. Yeah, this rook is watching my back rank. He's got a job. He's got a job, all right. So I probably need to be careful. Yeah. So let's see. Takes. I mean, takes. That would just trade all those. Takes. No, that doesn't work. Takes. I don't think there's a way that I'm missing this. If he captures with the rook, I just take with my pawn. And he takes, and then we just traded pieces again, so I'm okay with it. Well, I just took a pawn right there. So I took a pawn, then he would take a pawn. Okay. And now if he takes, then I have a forker. Which I suppose he can do a check, though. I move my queen, and then we trade queens. So it's not actually a true fork, but... I don't lose anything in this. Okay. Now we take this pawn. He's got no way to defend it. And now we just move pieces. Okay. Oh, and now I lose that pawn, I guess. Darn. Okay, let's go defend instead. Ooh, nice move. Nicely done. Okay. And defend. Take. Go somewhere. Go somewhere else. Back up. Move. 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 GG. Thank you, Breton. That was a good game. Good game. What is... Oh, the Karo Khan? Is that defense? No. I have no clue what is happening. So when I don't know what's happening, all I do is shove as many pawns forward as I possibly can.
Fresh meat.
Thank you, Spaceman.
SP1FF83 gifted a Tier 1 sub to Spectre 331,921. They have given 21 gift subs in the channel.
Oh, Karo is C6, D5. What's this opening? Perk defense. Okay. Sounds perky. Takes. Bishop. Let's develop our knight. Push. Takes. Break the king side into this terrible structure. It's got some ideas. Okay, you want to be nasty. Uh-huh. Let's go ahead and do this. Take with the queen or the rook? Probably the queen. Get her going. Now we've got some stuff lining up. Now this is getting a little nasty looking. There you go. He's got to play back. White bishop. Maybe like over here. If he pushes that. I could also just get this rook involved. E6. What? Who goes to E6? Here and then get my knight in there. I mean, all I'm doing is throwing away a pawn, though, if I do that. Like, this is a really nice pawn right now. Let's do this. And then I can do it. Okay. Here. He's got check, but then that doesn't really do anything. I can even just bring back, or I can just move my king, and then what? Kind of like doing this. Yep. So let's just see. Is this under threat? It is. Oh, he can take this. Ah, I should have had my bishop there. So let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's just move our king. Wait, why have I lost my connection? What? What do you mean I've lost my connection? Did chess go down? Chess.com went down, I think. Your game also just dropped? Oh, well. Yeah, because I'm still streaming. I better not lose points for this. I'm going to be upset. Wow. Rip. All right. Well, chess went down.